Jesus. Hello? Right, we're back anyway. How's that going for you? That was a quick 20 minutes. I was trying to do something in the sim and it wouldn't let me do it. Stupid thing. But anyway, we're all back. We're welcomed back and we continue on with today's stream. It is now time for the news. Yes. So first off, to all our DCS brethren, you're most welcome in. It's exciting to see so many new names and faces. Well, you can see my face, right? We will be getting to DCS, but just so you're not going, will you come on already? It will be in approximately, roughly, an hour and a bit. Just so you know, we're going to be covering Microsoft Flight Simulator news as we start. And we got some nice things to show. We have the upcoming GotFriends. This one, the Aeroprakt A32 Vixen. Brand new aircraft due to release very soon. And it also comes with a nice scenery. We're going to be checking out the aircraft. We're also going to have a look at iniBuilds Svalbard Airport. That released there last week. And then, friends, we ramble on over to the gadget over in DCS. So that's what we're doing this evening as we catch up with this week's Flight Sim news. We had a cheeky stream a little while ago. We were checking out the upcoming Black Square Bonanza and the Baron. Absolutely gorgeous now. Phenomenal. So if you want to check back, the video is live. It's there on YouTube if you want to check it out. So welcome back, everybody. You're looking well, right? And But yes, it's been one of those days, isn't it? It's been flat out, you know. I just saw DCS got an update as well. Right? And now a caveat out the window. I primarily use Microsoft Flight Sim. I've been known to dabble with X-Plane. DCS, I won't say when I am a total noob. It's going to be painful. You will vomit in your own mouth. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun, right? We're going to be joined as well by the aircraft developer. Ooh, that'll be fun. So we're definitely going to get some great insight for this upcoming machine. You know. Oh yeah, I need to do that thing as well. Roger. Remind me later, lads. It's very important that you do a thing. We'll wing it. We'll wing it. It'll be grand. But anyway, how was your day so far? Good. Very busy. And let's see what happens here now. So quick welcome back to everyone. Anyone new here that I didn't say hello to 25 minutes ago, welcome in. Jesus, me, nothing reset or nothing. Viper Strike, welcome back. Chalks, Mrs. TPHI, ups to down. Vacuum, Super Tie, Old Veteran. Welcome back, everybody. Hello again, absolutely. Any news since we were there last? No? Again, before Murphy rudely interrupts us, right? Oh, Jesus. Right, I think we'll just kind of get on. Will we get on? And we'll see what it's all about. Muse fan, the legend that is, has resubscribed, tier 3, for 55 months, Muse. Thank you very, very much indeed. What a legend! Great to see you, buddy, and thank you very, very much indeed. Probably Pete, a very good day to Arizona. I hope you're well. And Light Bison is here. Good to see you. Sai-120, welcome aboard. Came for DCS, but very pleased to discover your channel. Thanks very much, Walter. You'll be given out tomorrow. You'll have this strange sensation in your head. It's called a headache that you'll get from Murphy. Right. Idle Cutoff, Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary, you're looking well. So yeah, like, it's funny, right? Of all the stuff that's going on, there's not actually an awful lot of news. We'll get through it here now in a moment, and we're going to learn about this project from GotFriends, and because it's exciting, because the fleet from GotFriends has recently seen an update, bringing it all up to Flight Sim 2024 compatibility, and now they're right on, the shortest of all finals for releasing a brand new airplane into the sim. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun with this. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce and wolfy. Good to see you, man. So I nearly lost my stream streak. Listen, the stream schedule not accurate. You have to send a letter to management. Tell them how upset you are with them. Yes.
Hello there.
Right, and that'll do. Got Graveler now following. Love your work, man. But yes, good to see you, buddy. So, right, let's get into it, shall we? We'll press a button here. Look, it still works, and then we'll come over here. And hello, A32. Right, it's absolutely gorgeous. Now, don't mind the strange sounds that come out of that. So, we will be checking out this aircraft. We're going to learn a little bit about it in a little few moments' time. We're going to cover the news first, and then we're going to jump in. We also have a trailer to show you as well. So, I'm looking forward to all of this. But we will start at the beginning. Where I always say it's a good place to start. And well, let's see here now. All the lads are tagging. Welcome in, lads. Welcome in. So, we'll start off here with the news. There's the news. Turn down the sounds now so we can play some stuff here, right? And let me see here now. So, shout out to Vasco over at MSFS and to Callum and the lads over at FS Elite. And we'll start off with some of the news. Now, before we jump into this, we know that Black Square's aircraft are due to release next week. So if you're just joining us and you want to know what they look like and, you know, how they behave and whatnot, they're on the previous stream, or ramble over to YouTube, you'll find them there, right? Jesus! Fox! Cunning as a fox. 1,000 bits, was it? Jesus. Thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers, buddy. The man's a legend. Thank you very, very much. PH Roy. I didn't say hello to Roy. Hello, Roy. And if there's anyone in the chat I didn't say hello to, just say Murphy, you big idiot. Say hello, But anyway, we shall get started with this. Contrail. We all know Contrail as a store, place to get our downloads and whatnot. They announced at Flight Sim Expo that they were developing their own aircraft. And it is that that of a Falcon 50. And we have a latest update.
Look at this big Aegis.
We have a hello, welcome. Locust, good to see you. Age of Dragons, good to see you. Thank you, Airlock. We have this dev update from Contrail. So they've published their third development update for the Dassault Falcon 50, or FA50, offering a closer look at the growing depth of this upcoming business jet for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and 2024. The latest update follows the team's earlier progress reports from this summer, where Contrail first introduced the project during Expo and then later confirmed key milestones in flight model and system development. Now the focus has shifted towards the finer visual details and the system's fidelity. Right? Byron, good to see you. Hope you're well. Sell the wife and kids. Fully detailed cabin door and cockpit texture overhaul. Previously promised, the Falcon 50 now features its fully modelled cabin door with authentic animations and also the interior detailing, marking another step forward as a complete exterior model. These pictures look really nice. Inside the cockpit, Contrail say a comprehensive texture overhaul has been completed and the flight deck now sports a rough painted metal finish, characteristic of many of the real Falcon 50s, a design choice that reduces glare in the cockpit. The new screenshots shared by Contrail clearly show the impressive texturing, and you can kind of see them here, look. We're looking good, lads. Aren't we? There's a lot of stuff going on in this machine. Tarnish, good to see you, buddy. So, yeah, I mean, look, the Falcon 50, a cool looking machine. Business jet, absolutely. And, you know, there's a lot of hype for business jets because we know quite a few of them are in development. The Falcon 50, we know that there is an Embraer Freenom. We know there's a Learjet. We have the FlightFX C-750. There's quite there's decent options now when it comes to our business jets, and there's more on the way. So I'm quite excited for this one. So they work closely with real-world FA50 pilots and mechanics whose feedback is helping the team capture the aircraft's authentic handling and operational nuances. The collaboration appears to be a cornerstone of the project's development. It's all part of the philosophy, guiding the refinement of both flight dynamics and the system's behaviour. That's what makes the thing exciting. The hydraulic system simulation, one of the highlights, of course, is showcasing the hydraulic system in action. Contrail explained that when the hydraulic pressure is lost, the aircraft elevator, being directly linked to the control column, naturally droops into a full nose-down position, with the yoke itself following forward. The ailerons, being lighter and aerodynamically balanced, only sag ever so slightly under gravity and remain that way even when pressure returns. Once airborne, airflow over the wings bring them back to a neutral or slightly raised position, accurately replicating the real-world Falcon behaviour, right? Development continues across both platforms. Contrail reiterates that the FA50 will remain in active development for both Flight Sim 2020 and 2024, with more updates planned in the coming months. No pricing or a release date yet, but as we can see from these pictures, it would certainly look like they're at the stage of applying polish. I'm unsure when this might be ready, but it's looking close. It really is. So I don't know, is this something we're going to see before the holidays, or will it get pushed into next year? I'm not sure. I imagine they would love to get this released for the holidays, you know. But it's exciting. I mean, how many of you guys want to see a Falcon or want to fly in a Falcon? It's a tri-jet business jet. Nuts, right? Absolutely nuts. So we'll have to wait and see until we hear more. Blackbird Simulations, well, they've teased the new Corsair and also a DHC-3 Otter for Flight Sim 2024. Blackbird Simulations back with a couple of intriguing teasers. Development has dropped two new work in progress previews this month, one showing of an Otter and one of an entirely new F4U-1D Corsair that's now officially in the pipeline for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Now, there already was an F4U from Miltech, wasn't it? So there's a brand new one coming. You know, it's been a while since we've seen fresh development news from Blackbird. Their dev, MSFS official dev stream wasn't great because we know they're working on the Talon. But Jesus, but anyway, the two glimpses show that the team have been very busy behind the scenes, and of course, we know that they're working on the T-38. The aircraft looks incredible, incredible. Do you know? But they are revisiting two of their most beloved classics in the process. A new Corsair. Earlier this week, Blackbird shared a grey box render of a bomb rack assembly from a Corsair, along with a short caption, new plane in the pipeline for Flight Sim 2024, F4U-1D Corsair. The developer's Corsair, released back in 2021 under the Milviz name, was the first aircraft for Microsoft Flight Sim. Beautifully modelled, temperamental tail dragger, quickly became a favourite for warbird simmers. I even broke one sitting on the ground by pushing the engine too much. It shagged it. But anyway, we can see some of the renders here. The new F4U-1D appears to be a clean sheet rebuild, not a rework on the earlier release. And with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 promising improvements to aerodynamics, materials, and effects, well, there's every reason to think it could be a much more detailed and feature-rich rendition. The FG-1D is, in essence, a Goodyear build copy for the F4U. The difference comes down to equipment and operational context. The VOT built version was designed for carrier duty, while the Goodyear variant was often land-based. Earlier this month, Blackbird also gave us another update, this time a detailed cockpit render of a de Havilland Canada DHC-3 Otter. The image shows a fully modelled instrument panel with a mix of vintage analog gauges and a modern GPS unit. The Otter project has been known to be in development for quite some time. It appeared on internal roadmaps and in community discussions since at least 3 years ago, but updates have been quite sparse. Blackbird previously developed the DHC-3 and the PT6 Turbo Otter for FSX and P3D, where it was praised for its flight dynamics, the system's depth, and multiple configurations from tundra tires over to floats and skis. However, a new version, purpose-built for Flight Sim 24, could finally bring the versatility and bush flying authenticity into the modern sim. The twin Otter is a cracker altogether. The single Otter, or just Otter, again, they're rough and ready airplanes, and they operate. I mean, they're huge in Canada and Alaska and up that neck of the woods. So it's worth noting, Blackbird often plays its cards close to the chest. The studio has a history of keeping projects under wraps, #SR71, for long stretches, sometimes resurfacing unexpectedly with near-finished products. Other times, years pass between updates. For now, these are just teasers and exactly that. So, interesting stuff there from Blackbird. Saw this one, I've no renders yet, but ProPair announced the Piper Cheyenne for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Ooh, twin engine. The team over at ProPair Flight have announced that it's developing a Piper Cheyenne for Microsoft Flight Sim. The news surfaced through a recent post over on their official Discord server and confirms a rapid pace of development, with the aircraft already in beta testing. The Cheyenne series includes several variants of twin-engine turboprops developed by Piper, known for the mix of performance and executive comfort. Among these were the later PA42 models, such as the Cheyenne 3 and the 400 LS. They were equipped with the Honeywell Garrett engines, enabling cruise speeds exceeding 300 knots and well above 35,000 feet. Only around 44 of the Cheyenne 400 LS were ever built, making it one of Piper's rarest and most powerful designs. Its combination of high speed, long range, and pressurized comfort turned it into a unique alternative for corporate operators during the 1980s. Martel, good to see you. ProPair have not yet shared any screenshots or a feature list or indeed a release window for the upcoming release. However, they promise that they will be sharing preview images, videos, and feature details over the coming days and weeks. At this stage, no pricing or release information for now. It's simply exciting to see another high-performance turboprop entering development for Microsoft Flight Sim. We shall keep you up to date on that. Beautiful machine. Beautiful.
It's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Kanzui, you mad lad. 44 months in the saddle. 44 months, officially moving out of the fan zone and entering the cult member territory. One of us. Good to see you, buddy, and thank you very, very much indeed for your 44 months. Very, very much appreciated. You legend. Right, Aerosoft, they've confirmed their A340-600 Pro will release before the A330neo. What are your thoughts on this, right? 1 week after Aerosoft and Tolus shared a detailed look into the systems of their upcoming A340, Aerosoft is back with another major update, this time focusing on the visuals and the development process. The latest post, shared on Aerosoft's official Discord, includes 20 new development screenshots showing both the flight deck and passenger cabin, along with an announcement that the A340-6 Pro has now overtaken the A330 project. This means the A340 will release first. In the message, Aerosoft's community manager explained that the decision to share such early visuals reflects a new philosophy of transparency with the community. The post includes disclaimers about unfinished textures, colour inaccuracies, missing wear, nothing that is not the perfect marketing material yet, but rather a candid snapshot of ongoing work. We've got a couple of pictures here to share with you. It is coming along nicely. For me, you know, I mean, we've just seen the release of an A340 and it's from iniBuilds. So would they, like, why strike with another A340 now? Granted, it is a different variant. I think iniBuilds gave us the Dash 300, this being the Dash 600. But I would have thought the A330 would have been just more popular had it have been done right, you know? Chalks, thank you very much indeed. Look at that, 42 months, buddy. Cheers. End Pro, you're very welcome in. Hope you're well, buddy. Thanks for the follow. So yeah, look, the render shots are looking nice. You know, they're not finished, so you can't, it's hard to judge. It's just giving you an idea. Straight away, I mean, like, they're a million times better than their previous A330 release. So there's a lot of more work gone into this. And, well, they're keeping the community abreast as to what they're up to now. So there's no real shocker when it gets released. You know what I mean? 2 months to cult status. Too late now, says Chocks. Be grand. Jesus.
It's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Quasar Core subscribed for 42 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. Lads, thank you very, very much indeed. You're very good. You're very good. The screenshots highlight a near complete cockpit with detailed modelling of the overhead, centre pedestal, side panels, and even including what Aerosoft calls the sleeping side stick. Yes, the update also provides a detailed look at the Lufthansa-themed cabin, featuring accurately modelled first and business class sections, galleys, and other elements. We'll have to wait and see. Full system depth, roughly 250 user-triggerable failures are being built into this, along with a custom flight ground and engine model built natively for the sim, support for CPDLC, SimBrief, and advanced FMS logic, and also real A340-600 pilot involvement during the testing and the evaluation or validation. So interesting stuff here, you know. They look very clean. Yeah, I think they're missing a lot of more details. Like, and they are quick to say, look, it's not finished. Look at the sleeping side stick. What powers them? They're not. Here's a question: A340s, are the flight controls based on hydraulic or electric? Interesting. Elliot, hope you're well, buddy. I see a problem already. It's Airbus. Right? Moving on. BR Sim Designs. This is funny that this came up. We only showcased their older variants a couple of weeks back because they have been getting fairly steady updates over the last couple of weeks. Well, they've released a brand new version of the AA5B Grumman Tiger. This one with a G1000. BR Sim Designs have released an updated version of this aircraft, now featuring a G1000 avionics suite. We know much about the aircraft. We've flown it already in 2020 and again in 2024. But some of the issues with 2024, particularly with some of the sounds, you know, there's quite a lot of features with the aircraft. A couple of issues with the sound and also the flight handling or the modelling, if you like. But what we have here, this isn't like, you know, the 2024 version. This is the very same aircraft, right, that has literally received a G1000. The very same aircraft, same feature list. There's nothing new in this. There's no new sounds. This is the exact aircraft that's currently available right now. The only difference being they've put in a G1000. And the G1000 is that of working titles. Now, working title Garmin G1000 dual system. Freecaster nose wheel, already had that. Authentic WI sounds, had that already. So this is a €20 add-on for just a G1000. If you already have the Tiger and you're thinking, yeah, I'd like a G1000, okay, well, it'll cost you €14 or $13.99. It's not a native 2024 aircraft. It does work pretty well. Sounds though are a little bit hit and miss. As I said, we've flown this a while ago, but like I'd be expecting the dev to come along and release something.
Oh, behave.
That's nice. Jesus. Cold Nebo, thank you very much indeed for the bits. Cheers, buddy. I'd be expecting them to kind of push more into like, look, here's an update and it works now natively in flights in 2024. And then charge for that. They didn't do that. They're charging you that price for a working title G1000, which is already built. You just need to like, you know, put it into your plane. It's an interesting one. I don't know. I don't want to say buyer beware, but like just be careful of that. Unless like you absolutely want a G1000 inside your little Grumman Tiger. It's hard to know, right? 8 liveries, working title Garmin G1000, authentic sounds, free caster nose wheel, volumetric lights, dynamic registration, customization options. They're all there, like, you know what I mean? Like we already have all this in the current build. In the current analog variant of the aircraft, so thought this is interesting. But anyway, they're busy, they're alive and kicking, so there's that. SimPixel Breda Airport has released for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Breda International Airport, also known as SEP Airport, is a small general aviation airfield in the village of, wait for it, Boschenhoeft province out in the Netherlands. That wasn't a bad, you know. It's around 8.5 miles west of the city of Breda and is mostly used for recreational flying. SimPixel's rendition features high-resolution textures, custom 3D terminal, hangars, surrounding buildings, dynamic lighting, static aircraft, 3D animated people, a wind-responsive runway indicator that reacts to real-time wind conditions, and more. Lord Freed is here. Good to see you. Just need to put the existing G1000 in the plane. It could be a lot of work, to be fair, but I wouldn't charge that much for it. Yeah, like, but it's, I suppose, good to see it, by the way, Lord Freed. I suppose my beef with it is it's not the update you're expecting in terms of 2024 capability. You know what I mean? It should be clearly stated this is an avionics only update. That's all it is. You know, there's nothing else there. But anyway, this looks very nice. We do have a trailer here, and iniBuilds are publishing this. So let's press some buttons and do things and stuff. And well, let's see what happens here. Are we ready? I mean, the question we're all wondering, is there in fact a Skoda? I reckon there is. Verboden. I love that sign. Verboden? This looks pretty nice, guys, doesn't it? A nice Dutch scenery. It looks impressive. Are we getting a chipmunk for the marketplace? Short answer, yes. Long answer, couldn't tell you when. But yes. So, Breda International Airport. Looks the part, doesn't it? It's available now over on the iniBuilds store. You can pick it up for £8.39. £8.39. Yeah. Skoda Verboten. Yeah, Murph can read minds, right? It looks very nice. So we'll have to have a look at that. All the features that are there, high resolution textures, custom 3D models, every structure, terminals, 2 hangars have been crafted with precision. Ooh. And dynamic lighting, detailed interiors, static aircraft, and optimized performance. Good stuff. So yeah, it's a nice general aviation airport. Not too bad, lads. Now, Lysium have released Vilnius Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Lysium, they've released their rendition of Vilnius Echo Yankee Victor India for the sim, both 2020 and 2024. The airport, the largest and busiest airport in Lithuania, I think Kaunas being the second. It's around 4 miles south of Vilnius city centre, and it serves the Lithuanian capital and its surrounding areas. It hosts a wide range of carriers: Air Baltic, Avion Express, Fly Dubai, Ryanair, of course, Lufthansa, Turkish, Polish Airlines. There's tons of them all operating here. The rendition features a true-to-life terminal and airport layout, terminal interiors, PBR texturing, custom lighting, detailed ground texturing, and more. I gotta say, the screenshots here look fantastic. This is available right now over on Contrail, priced £15.06. You nearly have to have a quick look at it. It's very photoreal, isn't it? I'm going to get in so much trouble with all this music tonight. I mean, we're only short of the glow sticks now, lads. I have to say, this looks pretty, doesn't it? It's very photoreal. It goes on for another 3 minutes, so do you know what I mean? But it looks very, very good. That night lighting look, Jesus. Look at that. Beautiful. And then all the interiors look. It does look class, doesn't it? Highly detailed, photorealistic textures used. Like, it's incredible looking. Beautiful looking. And like Vilnius, it's just one of those destinations. I mean, it's a short hop, isn't it? What are we talking from Dublin? 3 hours? Do you know, like, it ain't bad, or even less. Well, it's about 3 hours, I think. But it does look very nice. The night lighting in particular looks gorgeous here. Do you know, V-Pilot, good to see you, buddy. Wig and glow sticks, absolutely. Absolutely. But no, I'm impressed by this. Priced at around $15. You can get it over on Contrail. But it looks very good. There's a lot of detail going into this. Jesus, look even further on the road, look. Saturn, welcome in. That's impressive. That looks very, very impressive. Wonder how it runs now, performance-wise, because it's. Do you know, you kind of get like iniBuilds vibes from this. I wonder how well it all installs, and like, is there ways to kind of, you know, reduce the impact of this, you know? But like the photos, I mean, they're photorealistic. Very good, very good. Over in Contrail, 1506. That's Lysium Vilnius International Airport, available now for 2020 and 2024. Now, there's a new mod. Yes, it fills Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 with global military traffic and also some moving aircraft carriers. Ooh. As Joseph Jolly walks in. How are you, Joseph? Following the success of the GA mod 2024, which expanded general aviation, its AI activity across the world, well, Corsten's Hangar, well, they're back with a new freeware mod for the sim. It's a new military mod focusing on military aviation, introducing worldwide AI operations, featuring a range of well-known aircraft and even static aircraft carriers. According to the developer, Military Mod 2024 aims to enhance the military flying experience, injecting AI traffic at air bases over key regions, both IF4 and VF4 for AI-controlled aircraft. The package includes a diverse fleet of aircraft such as the F-18, F-16, F-35, Rafale, E-2 Hawkeye, Antonov, and even an MQ-9 Reaper. Several of these models come from the well-known freeware creators such as Flight Sim Squadron, Alpha 60, India Fox Deco, and more. To work as intended, the add-on also relies on a few additional freeware aircraft. They include the C-17 Globemaster III, the 135 Stratotanker, and also the E-3 Sentry, all developed by Delta Simulations, along with the HMS Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier by ANS Media. Quite a lot there. It is for free, though, and it is interesting to see military aircraft buzzing around the place. Could be interesting. As with the GA mod, it requires users to disable default AI traffic and models in the simulator. They have their own small utility called the one-click content disabler to make this step easier. So I've never used these mods. Like, I mean, for me, any sort of traffic injection, I've been more than happy with SayIntentions, particularly now they have GA traffic in there. And I'd say it's only a matter of time before they look at something like this and say, we could do that. Do you know? But yeah, it's interesting. If you want to have that traffic flying around, keep your company in the skies, it definitely looks interesting. So that's available now. The first pilot-controlled lighting system. I'm going to have a play with this next week, but I thought it was intriguing. There's a lot of airports worldwide that aren't 24-hour operations or operational, and usually then the pilot, by keying in the right frequency, by coding it, usually push to talk, number of buttons, or how long you press, well, it would actually turn on the runway lights. It's not new technology. Military pilots have been doing this for years. It's never really come into the sim, and I always thought it was there, but it doesn't. Pilot control lighting, well, that changes that. The add-on simulates real-world systems that allows pilots to activate and adjust runway lighting at untowered airports via their own aircraft radio. It is a first for Microsoft Flight Sim. In real-world aviation, PCL enables pilots to control airfield lighting by keying the microphone a specific number of times on a designated frequency. It's a common feature at smaller or unattended airports. The Air Corps used to do it years ago. Vero Routes, now the new add-on, brings the same concept to over 4,500 airports and helipads worldwide in Flight Sim 2024. The developers say the lighting systems are off by default and they can be activated pressing the push to talk key 3, 5 or 7 times within 5 seconds, matching the real world procedure. And you might be asking, why press it 3, 5 or 7 times? Well, usually the more you press it, the brighter the intensity of the lights are. And that seems to be done here as well. 3 clicks for low, 5 for medium and 7 for high. It's pretty cool, right? Once activated, the lighting remains on for 15 minutes before it automatically shuts off. During that time, pilots can change the brightness levels using the same click method, and the system simulates runway edge, centerline threshold, and approach lights that can also be controlled remotely via SimConnect variables, opening the door to potential third-party ATC or multiplayer integration. And just as we said it, that needs to be something that SayIntentions can dial into. Hang on. Idea. We'll share the link. Right. Anyway, it's available now. You can pick up a free trial or you can buy it outright. It's over on Sim Market for $20. You know. Malky says, SayIntentions has PCL, but it's not enabled because of the LOD. Yeah. I wasn't aware of that. They are, Malky. Didn't even know they could do that. So, yeah, Brian will probably come back to me and say, you know, you're a Muppet, right? You know, we do that. One second now. This is how Murphy doesn't look like a complete moron. Now, I hope that doesn't work on VATSIM. I would foresee shenanigans happening. I wouldn't. Like, if they're flying at night time to uncontrolled airports, there should be no issue, right? I think. This is similar, the stop bar add-on for VATSIM. Well, that was really good because that allowed controllers use it, which is dead handy. Mr. Squirrel Lee is here. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're well. Yeah, we are surrounded by geniuses, absolutely. Right, moving on to the world of X-Plane briefly. Just Flight, their PA-28 Archer 3 has released for X-Plane 12. We're going to be flying this one on tomorrow morning's stream. Just Flight and Thranda back in action together for the Archer 3. And it's a popular 4-seat single-engine low-wing aircraft built by Piper and is part of the long-running PA-28 Cherokee family. This has been flying since the 1960s. Fly with Craig, good to see you, buddy. Welcome back. So Just Flight and Thranda, the PA-28 Archer 3, features fully implemented PBR materials, real-time environmental reflections, 8K texturing, highly detailed modelling, a new developed tablet EFB, which introduces a wide range of features, including aircraft configuration, state management, interactive checklists, and customization options, including the ones that we love in X-Plane, as in create your very own livery, which is incredible. We're going to be flying this tomorrow on stream, as I say. I do like an Archer. It's a nice machine, this. And yeah, we're going to do some flying with this one tomorrow. So it's released now over in the world of X-Plane. You can pick it up over on the Just Flight website, priced at £30.49. And if you want to know more about it, check out our stream tomorrow. We'll be flying it. The Archer, yes, the Piper Archer. What did I say? I probably said something else. I do like an Archer. The Arrow is what we're used to, but the Archer was very nice. Very nice plane. And the lighting looks superb, look. Look at that. I haven't flown it yet. We're going to be flying it tomorrow, so let's see what happens there. Now, in our last bit of news from Skydom Digital Solutions, the Red Sea International Airport has released for X-Plane 12. Skydom Digital Solutions released its first freeware scenery for X-Plane 12, Oscar Echo Romeo Sierra. It's located in a place called Hanak in Tabuk in Saudi Arabia, servicing the tourism mega project called the Red Sea Project. The airport opened in 2023, designed by British architects, Foster and Partners, drawing inspiration from desert dunes, oasis, and the sea. Ooh. I was a job architect for this, the C-120. No way. It's a freeware project. Look at the state of it, look. That's impressive, isn't it? Flying Winnebago, good to see you. That's mad looking. And it's a freeware airport for X-Plane. Looks the job. You can download it over on the website from the developer. I'll share that with you if you want to grab it, lads. It's a freeware scenery for the world of X-Plane. So if you want to grab that, do be sure to check it out. Also, during the week, we ran a little poll over on our Discord. I just thought it was interesting. I'll give you the results. I asked the question, right? What is your main flight sim platform? I mean, where are you doing most of your flight simming, right? So we had a total of 209 votes, right? 74% of you said you're using Flight Sim 2024, right? That was about 156 people. 21%, 45 votes, are using Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. And just under 4%, 8 votes, are using X-Plane 12. So 75% are on Flight Sim 2024, 20% in a bit on 2020, and just under 4% on X-Plane. It's very clear what you guys are flying on. Thought that was interesting. Now, I didn't include DCS, of course, in this because, like, you know, we'll draw a line somewhere, but we'll soon have to include DCS and all this stuff as well, you know. So that is the news, friends. That is the news. Now, what I want to do before we go any further, I want to show you a video. Right, where's my downloads? Over here, look. Right, so we have a trailer to show you. Am I allowed to show the trailer now, GotFriends? No more. If you're not allowed to show it, go home. Yes, we're going to do a thing. Right, shh. Calm it all down now. Calm it all down, right? So, we're going to be checking out this aircraft, the Aeroprakt A32 Vixen by GotFriends. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. The absolute state. Right? The absolute state. So that was the trailer of this aircraft. Now, you might be saying, Merv, what in the name of... I'll tell you, right? So this aircraft, it's a real-world aircraft. The A32, Aeroprakt are the manufacturer. They are a Ukrainian aircraft designer. And the aircraft is available to purchase worldwide, predominantly in the States. But in the UK... you can actually buy this aircraft as a kit aircraft in the UK. Everywhere else, you'll buy it pre-assembled. However, you do get the options of what you would like included. Now, to give you an idea, the aircraft itself, well, you know, just by looking at it and what's under the hood, this is designed to make real-world aviation accessible. The idea of lower costs, less moving parts, and also modern avionics. Now, it is a two-seater, but it is ideal for training. And these aircraft can be used for scenic flights, photography, in fact, and also some just some normal kind of, you know, let's go for an old ramble. What we get from GotFriends, we get 4 different variants, but I'll explain how that works. Basically, the aircraft, the Aeroprakt A32, it comes fitted with either your standard wheels and wheel pans and analog gauges. And there is an option in the real world to go with analog gauges, right? But usually they go with the modern avionics. They'll go with the Garmin equipment. But GotFriends have given us the option to go with that. They've also included Tundra tyres because, well, we're well into our stall course. We're learning all about short takeoff and landing. This is an aircraft that is very capable for short takeoff and landing. Very much so. I mean, you can stall this thing. It's like 27 knots, right? And it'll move happily along at 30 knots. And with the Tundra tyres, you just have that extra little bit of, yeah, we can give it a bit of a, you know, it'd be grand. Now, there's other features with the aircraft as well. Hot swappable avionics, you can change things around, headphone simulations, and there's all sort of 30 knots, yeah, and there's all sorts of physics at play. But the project of an aircraft goes beyond just the aircraft because they've included a scenery for this as well, which is very interesting. So I went off looking to see, you know, what the story was when it came up. You know, why did they go with this aircraft, and you know, where can you buy this aircraft and everything. I went through like price lists and who sells it and all this, and of course I came across where the aircraft was based on, and in particular the flight school in which it came from, right? So what do we know about it? Well, the aircraft has been developed for single pilot operations. It's been adapted in such a way to better represent the simulated environment. It has been produced using multiple real-world data points and manuals from various dates and sources, with modifications to various components to make sure that they're manageable within Microsoft Flight Simulator. So that's what GotFriends have done. The Aeroprakt A32 Vixen, it is that of a next-generation light sport aircraft developed in close collaboration with Aeroprakt USA and our real-world training partners, Heavenbound Aviation. And it's at Heavenbound Aviation we actually find ourselves at this airstrip here in Ohio. Because they're the main kind of retailers, if you like, of the aircraft. They configure it, they assemble it, they sell it. But they also have a flight school, which is very, very interesting. And you can go onto their website, you can learn more about them. It's actually fascinating. It's like a 3rd generation family, which is now running this site here now. And he has his own flight school. And they do a lot of kind of missionary stuff as well. It was very interesting. But anyway, what we have with this add-on, it's actively used by Heavenbound Aviation themselves. And you might be saying, huh? Microsoft Flight Sim is technically, strictly speaking, an entertainment thing. It's an entertainment product. But that doesn't stop people using this for real world training. And Mike sent me on a picture earlier on. We'll save this and then I'll show you this. Because in the actual flight school, lads, well, they're using the aircraft for training, which is over here, look. So that's their setup, right? They have their own little simulator based on the aircraft that's been built for them, and they're using some real sim gear panels, but it's enough, right? And the idea being is, well, they can use this they can use all of this. I forgot to turn on my camera. They use all of this when the aircraft themselves are out flying. So if you're waiting to, for your chance to do your lesson, well, they can actually, continue your training using this simulator. Right, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And there was, as I said, I came across stuff on YouTube just to give you the story behind it. Now, I won't show all of it because, well, I'm already in trouble, I'd say, when it comes to, YouTube giving out about music and stuff. But I will show you this briefly because it's what GotFriends do. In case you're not aware of it, GotFriends do more than just here's a product. We've seen it with their gliders, we've seen it with the Warbirds, we've seen it with all their aircraft. They come bundled with attitude and style and a story. They always had, right? They've always had like a canoe, for crying out loud, right? There was always more than just the aircraft there. And I found this to be, well, brilliant, right? So hang on now, we have a quick look here. Where is this now? Where's my history? Here it is. Heaven Bound Aviation, right? Just have a quick look at this. Now, I won't, as I said, I won't bore you with this, but just have a look because I found this to be interesting. These are the real world operators that are using this aircraft, right? So have a look at this.
Heaven Bound Aviation has existed quietly here in Johnstown for many years, and I don't think a lot of people, even in our own community, know that we exist. So I wanted to do a video to explain who we are. My great-grandparents bought this property back in 1920. And that same year, my grandma was born right here in our house. Eventually, my parents inherited the land, and I grew up here helping my dad farm it as well. In 1998, my wife Amy and I bought it, and we've raised our kids here ever since. Fast forward 25 years, and I went from flying ultralights to a private pilot, both land and sea, then a sport pilot instructor, and then a instrument-rated commercial pilot, a commercial flight instructor, and an instrument instructor, as well as an airframe and power plant mechanic with an inspection authorization. So it's been quite a journey. At Heaven Bound, our passion is flight training. We teach sport, private, commercial, and instrument ratings, and we prefer to start our students in a 1938 Taylorcraft to hone their stick and rudder skills. And then after they solo, we transition them to a modern glass panel Aeroprakt for the balance of their training. This is a very unique approach in the industry because it is more difficult, but we feel it produces the best pilots.
My name is Gideon Gonzalez. I am 17 years old. I just earned my private pilot certificate here at Heaven Bound Aviation.
I've thought about going into the space industry, but in order to get there, you have to learn about the basics.
So after this, I want to get my private pilot's license and then my instrument rating, and then hopefully get my CFI and work here for Mr. Andy.
Work for Mr. Andy. Brilliant, isn't it? Right? So that's the background of what all of this is. It's beyond that of just the airplane, lads. There's a whole lot going on here. And you might have seen in that video, it showed you the Aeroprakt A32. Well, the 32 was actually built on that foundation. However, with the 32, well, it's faster, it's more fuel efficient, and it's safer. It's safer. Right? So what the lads over at GotFriends have done with this machine, I mean, as you look at it, the modelling on this is beautiful. And like, you may not be drawn to an aircraft of this size straight away. You're probably saying, no, I prefer something a little bit bigger. But this thing, the visibility you have out of it, the features, the sounds, and how it flies, how slow this thing will actually fly. Now, you can get it up to like 80 or 90 knots. It's, you know what I mean? But it's the slow movement of it that I like. Now, when you look at the Aeroprakt website, and this is where it's fantastic, when you look at the aircraft manufacturer's website, you can custom build your own airplane. And I love the way GotFriends have included some of the features that are, would you believe, an optional extra, such as, to use the words of Aeroprakt, a cost-effective way to secure your aircraft, a bolt lock, right? A lock for your plane. That's an extra. But also, when it comes to the wheels, the fairings, the tires, right? The LED lighting, and that's from the exterior stuff before we even start looking at the interior. Now, what we have here, yes, it's a nose dragger. It's a fixed landing gear. There are other modifications that can be got with the real aircraft, but I think GotFriends have captured the essence of what this plane is all about. You know, it's a 2024 aircraft working just fine in 2020 as well. And as I said, it's not going to set any records for speed, maybe, you know, get out and walk speed. But it is a very unique looking airplane. The attention to detail here is staggering, as you know, you would expect. But I'm going to use a phrase that Gibba will start laughing. But you can actually literally see the tits on the tires. They're called tits, by the way. You can see the tits on the tires, ladies and gentlemen. That is the level of detail they've put into this, right? Right? That's what they're called. Look it up. I know a tire man, he told me. What are they called? They're called tits, Murph. Huh? But anyway, looking around, the aircraft itself has a relatively unique characteristic whereby how the elevator moves. This is a fully flying tail section. And what they mean by that is, well, the entire elevator itself moves. If I were to demonstrate this and just show you the transit area or the travel area of your elevator, it's within its own big hinged aircraft, right? Pretty cool. What else do we know about it? Looking at the fuselage, a number of paint options, of course. Texture work here is spot on. The modelling work is spot on. Dynamic tail registration, well, it's all there. We also have, 2024 features, including our interactive walk around, and we can also bypass that as well. So the aircraft we're looking at here, it's not yet released, but it's damn close. And if there is any, I don't know if the lads sorted this, but I'm going to show you a little a trick. I think they fixed it. They have fixed it. Well done, lads, because that wasn't fixed earlier on, and I thought it was going to be all smart and brilliant. Never mind, they fixed it. They were having LOD issues, but they've clearly fixed it. Brilliant. Oh, it's live already. Brilliant. You already got it. Grand. So there was LOD issues earlier on, but just in case anyone's wondering, if you have LOD issues with your own aircraft, if you have an LOD issue with your own aircraft, I'm going to show you briefly how to fix that. With your settings, advanced options, and turn on your dev mode, right? In dev mode, I want you to go to debug and come on down here to where you have the debug model LODs. Click on that, scroll down until where it says enforce active LOD. And if I were to change this, look what the airplane will do, look. See the way it changes the LOD? Now, GotFriends have this sorted, so we don't need to do this. But if you have an aircraft, your aircraft, and if you just zoom out, you're starting to lose all the detail, well, this is how you bypass all of this. And then once you've set it, you've clicked the box, just click on the X and you're good to go. Get rid of dev mode and you're good to go, right? Just in case you didn't know that. But it's not needed now because, well, the lads have fixed it, right? They fixed it. So let's get in here now and have a little closer look, because we want to look at some of the stuff. Now, what do we have here? The flight manual has been written as well, which we have. There's a flight manual available. The Aeroprakt has 4 different variants. You have the cruiser, standard tires, fairings are optional with a modern glass digital display. Murph, so fluent with dev tools, I'm going to hire you soon. You'll be happy working with Steiny. That's the only thing I know. And I was shown how to use it. The Explorer variant, that's Tundra tyres, mudguard options with modern glass cockpit. Then you have the Pioneer variant. Well, that's a standard tyres, fairings optional, and an analog dashboard. Steam gauge all the way. Goose has sponsored us over on YouTube. Goose, thank you very, very much indeed. The final one then is called Voyager. That's with your Tundra tyres, analog dashboard for your instrument gauges. Pretty cool. As we said, well, the aircraft itself, the Vixen, it is manufactured by Aeroprakt in Kyiv in Ukraine. An evolution of the earlier A22 and A220 series, or A20 series, refining the proven designs into a faster, more aerodynamically efficient platform with improved visibility and touring performance. It was engineered with a primary focus on responsiveness, yet forgiving handling. Now, visually, the Vixen is known for the sleek canopy design, obstructed forward view, and also the distinctive pusher propeller configuration. Its enclosed cabin is wider than many aircraft in its class, and it features excellent downward visibility, making it popular for sightseeing, aerial observation, and bush exploration. Ooh. Today, the aircraft continues to evolve under Aeroprakt's active development. It's flown across Europe, North America, Australia and beyond, with many schools adopting this for its modern sport pilot training. Its balance of efficiency, situational awareness, and versatility has earned it a strong position amongst most capable next-gen light sport aircraft in production. Now, we get a lot of features with this, right? You're talking detailed model, 4K textures, accurate flight model, there's 12 hand-painted liveries, custom Rotex 912 ISWI sound pack, glass cockpit, analog cockpit if you want, works with your PMS and TDS GTN avionics packages, custom AOA indicator if you want it there, and also it does some really nice noise cancelling headphones. Full multiplayer compatibility, including visual elements, your tail registration, dynamic dirt. They can all be seen in multiplayer. So if someone doesn't wash their plane, well, you can slag them, right? You can slag them. Tea Kettle, thank you very much indeed for the follow. Now, currently not working, unfortunately, inside of the career mode. Doesn't allow add-ons installed via community folder, including those purchased through third-party stores, to be recognised by the career mode. As of the manual's publication, career mode compatibility is limited to the in-game marketplace of the aircraft. Now, GotFriends are planning one day to get all this up and running. Their plan is to get this available for PC, Xbox, and even PlayStation, all going well. That's their plan. So, let's go in and have a now look at it, will we? Geeky, you're very welcome in. Thank you for the follow, buddy. Right, so, Buttons, Murph, you can do it. Let's jump in here now, hey, and have a look at this machine. So we can remove all the before flight ourselves, or indeed we can use the tablet. I'll quickly just do this. Remove the chocks, the pitot cover, the engine intake, where the radiator is, and that looks pretty much good to go. And we'll now jump in and see what the story is, right? Weird question, but does multiplayer simmers see covers and chocks on the ground? It can happen a lot, Gutches. Yes, you are not alone in that. So this is the cockpit, which is almost like nighttime in here, but just bear with. It's all modern avionics. It's all modern avionics. And when we start turning them on, well, sure, you'll see what the crack is. In actual fact, if I turn my machine so the sun is coming in at us at that angle, you might be able to see it a little bit better. Sort of nearly, almost. We'll do that. Anyway, this one here with the modern avionics, it's sporting that of a G5 and also a G3X, the Touch. And of course, we can put in our GTN 750. This thing is like avionics equipped. Not only that, but we have the option to even put in the InSim tablet if we wanted to. We'll start off with a little notebook here, and we'll keep an eye on that notebook later on because, you know, it's physics, Jim. Anyway, this is where we can remove the aircraft covers, the wheel chocks. We can have our own tail reg if we want. The additional tablet, click that. You'll see a brand new tablet right there. And they've done nice work modelling the old cable and all this sort of jazz as well. We can also put in the angle of attack indicator, gear accessories. So on this case, it's mud flaps. That's what they are, right? Little mud guards. Or if you're using the wheel pans, you could disappear the wheel pans. And of course, if you wanted to use this machine with the doors off, you can fly it with the doors off. And we'll go back to that now in a moment. Also, see these storm windows here? They also work on both sides. Wonderful. Right, so what we need to do, a couple of things to get ourselves up and running. We need to turn on our fuel valves. So we have the right side and the left side. Right? Keep our volume up. Now, the electrical system on this is kind of mad, and you're probably saying, Murph, they're the weirdest looking rudder pedals I've ever seen. Well, they're standard rudder pedals. They don't have toe brakes. There's no toe brakes on this aircraft. Instead, similar to some of the Cirrus aircraft, you have a toe brake lever. So my toe brakes are actuating the brakes, and you have a parking brake then as well. So we have our throttle, all looking good here. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at the electrical panel down here. Now we do have fuses and whatever else. We can't touch them; they're in behind the guard. But we have our fuel pumps. We have our lanes and ECU, I think it is. But this is basically your mags. Effectively, they're your mags, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to put some electricity into the aircraft, and they've coded this very well. We can go with the standard battery, or if we want to get fancy, we can actually turn off the kill switch for the battery, but we can still power up the aircraft if we use the backup power supply along with the emergency generator power. And that will be enough to get the aircraft into action. If you did, for whatever reason, lose the battery, well, it comes with redundancy. Nicely done. So we'll turn on this gadget again and we'll go for the main battery power. And we see some lights coming up here for our 2 lanes here, right? Now, we're also going to go in and turn on our nav light and our fuel pump, strobe light as well, because there's no beacon, right? So we're going to put on our lane A and lane B, fuel pumps left and right. And you hear the sounds. Sounds are on, right? Avionics stay off for the moment. Parking brake is set. Clear prop. And let's see what happens here. We need to engage the starter switch. Now, in a lot of places, it's like a spring-loaded switch. You got to press and hold it, then engage the starter. But GotFriends, you click this once, it'll stay there. You'll hear the extra prime. I shagged it. Why didn't it work? Think, Murphy, think. I didn't press it long enough. Story of me. Anyway, she's running the beautiful Rotax engine. Avionics master switch coming on, and come to life all our machines and screens and stuff. And as far as I know, the G5, I think it's working titles, but this works very well. And like, you've tremendous redundancy here. Your backup battery will actually power this unit, and you can fly just with this. You don't need all the fancy fandangle stuff, not at all. If you wish, you can actually, everything you need, airspeed, altitude, barometric pressure, ground speed, heading indicator. And we can go in and affect even more stuff here, be it your heading, your altitude. And if you don't want that, we can actually turn it into an MFD, which effectively becomes a HSI. Very handy stuff, right? And that's all default. So they've done great work here. So we'll put it back onto a primary display just for the giggles. And we'll open that menu because I want to see my heading. So we have our caution advisory. We'll okay all of that. Open the map over here. And if you wanted to swap out your GTNs, you can change it from a 750 or a 650. Entirely depends on what it is you're doing. So if you don't want too much glass, you can change it from either the 750 or the 650. I like that option because some people prefer the 750. It's a bigger screen, easier to see, all that sort of stuff. We can go with the smaller one for this, right? The yoke is shaking, yes, but not only that. Do you see the notebook? That's shaking as well. It's hopping and doing all its stuff. And I want to show you, right? We're currently idling right now. And you can see everything shaking around, right? Well, if I increase the RPM, just as it would in the real world, it'll calm down, watch. Jesus. So at a lower RPM, the engine is... But when you speed it up, it calms that right down. And they've modelled that, which is class. Now, get some lights on. We have our landing light, taxi light. We also have the wigwag lights. And you might be asking, what's the story with the wigwags? Well, usually in high built-up areas or busy airports, wigwags were always good. Cabin light if we wanted. Windshield air. Now, some differences between this and the real aircraft. There's not many, to be honest, right? There's little fans that run up here. They're another option if you wanted to buy it in the real aircraft. Now, bearing in mind, the avionics that we have on this machine, which includes ADSB, right? The only difference is you have little fans up here as an optional extra. But GotFriends have included, see this? See here? This bag, the luggage compartment, zip tie stuff. That's an optional extra in the real aircraft. And they've modelled that in here. And there's physics at play. Look, the zippers are shaking around the place. Look. And they react to what the engine is doing. It's pretty cool, right? Now, also, another difference in the real world aircraft, if you so wished, you could fit it. You could fit it with a ballistics parachute. Not modelled here on this aircraft, but in the real world, you have the option to throw in a ballistics parachute. We're starting to see them more and more in modern aircraft, so it is something you can get. If you wanted to get a real world Aeroprakt A32 with all the bells and whistles, a Garmin avionics suite, the parachute, all like the beacon light is extra, right? The beacon light is an optional extra, as are the nav and strobes, as are the wigwags, as are the LED for your taxi light. These are all optional extras. Anyway, a fully committed Aeroprakt A32 would set you back about $210,000. About $210,000 for the top of the range. That's not bad. And that's with the IS Rotex as well. Not bad, like, not bad. Now, before we take off here, I just wanted to show you, this is the scenery that releases with it as well. And it is that of Heavenbound. This is the house. This is where the farm is. This is where the hangar is, where they do all the building and putting the stuff together. We have our runways. There's the farmhouse then over here, look. And it's just a really nice place to go flying in and around Ohio. It's actually, like, there's not many mountains or stuff around you, but there's plenty to see, and they've put in animals and local buildings and all that sort of stuff. It's actually a really cool place to come visit, even like telegraph poles, you know what I mean? But they've included all of this
Hello there.
as well, which is just a very nice touch. You know, there are tons of chicken farms, tons chicken farms, and there's cows and horses, and it's savage, right? Savage. But anyway, let us see how this thing handles, shall we? So, we have a couple of extras. We can go with the headphone simulation. Nice. But also then when it comes to opening the doors, and I want you to listen carefully here. So there's the door open and we can hear everything from outside. But it'll get louder. So they've done all that spatial sounding very well. Now, in my own opinion, the aeroplane sounds better from the inside because you can really hear what that engine is doing. Outside, you have all the wind noises and all this. So flying it, I recommend taking the doors off. Right? So we'll take the doors off. So we're going to come off the parking brake, edge her forward a bit. And we'll go for a notch of flaps. Now our flap handle is this fella up here. Go for a notch of flaps. And we'll get ourselves lined up here. Like, isn't it cool? Like, here we are at this airport, and we know, like, this is where we watched the video the Heavenbound are doing their training from. It's kind of mad, isn't it? So let's see what we can do. So, power coming in. And just have a look at our speed, right? Watch the RPM. Speed alive, 25 knots. Oopsie daisy. We're flying at around 26 knots. What? Incredible short takeoff and landing capability. Like, incredible. So go ahead and bring the flaps in. Nice view out our left-hand side here. And again, a bit more altitude. One bit of feedback I'll give to the GotFriends lads, and I'm always moaning. You're not the only developers that I'm going to moan about, right? Do you know the trim? Well, it works great if you have a roller, but say if you're using a button, as in trim up or trim down, I use like it's a wheel, but it's an individual click each time. Is there any way you can accelerate that? I'm only asking now, you know, you can say shag off, Murph, you know, it's something, it's a feature, you know. But your thumb will be your thumb will be numb trying to, you know, trim it. Now you can't just go down and say, well, trim the divot, look. And it'll trim real good. But it's just something. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Mike Road says noted. Now check out our speeds. And I think they've done work, not just with the airfield, but everything here it just seems polished. The whole region. There's parked cars, buildings look correct. The roadways look great. It just looks very nice. Or I could just get a proper trim wheel. Yeah, thank you, Scott. Yes. Look at it, lads. Look at the scenery here.
It's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Mac Vision. You're very kind. Giving a tier 1 sub to Mike Road. Cheers, buddy. Like, the visibility out of this aircraft, it's fantastic. It's fantastic, look. For a training aircraft, look how much we can see below. And grand, okay, I have the doors off, but even put the doors back on, you still have great visibility here. So we'll fly over the old chicken ranch down here. But have a look at how slow we can go now, right? So we're going to bring our throttle all the way back. And we'll start deploying some flaps here as well. And let's just see what's the lowest speed we can hold this before it all goes terribly, terribly wrong. 45 knots indicated. 40 knots indicated. There's 30 knots. 26 knots. We're right in the level. We're maintaining flight at around 23 knots. Isn't that mad? Thank God that thing wasn't solid. Like, that's unbelievable. And this is where you really start to appreciate the different variants, whereby, you know, throw on a set of Tundra tires and just get out there and enjoy the countryside, because you can literally put this thing down anywhere, right? So we'll try it again. Let's just go in here now for the cheeky landing just over here, look. And like, you'll nearly take off in the distance you land. There's a stall, easy now. Angle of attack is way up there. There's a touchdown, easy. Right? And like the flaps, like, you nearly don't need them. Alright, take up power. We're rolling. We're flying. Isn't this mad, isn't it? You can cycle doing that speed only briefly? No way. It's a nice airplane, lads. It's just a nice machine. It's only a two-seater, so it's probably not going to, you know, if you want to do your cross-country stuff with a whole load of space and stuff. But it's really nice. It flies really well. It looks great. It sounds great. There's features already built in there. And I'm interested in it mainly, well, not mainly, but like that whole heaven-bound flight school, like that's a huge connection we have now with an aircraft in the sim that GotFriends have done. It's not just the add-on. There's a story behind it. There's a whole experience behind it. And that's what they've really captured here. Plus, giving you the option to have friggin' glass if you want the glass for avionics, or you can go with a steam gauge variant as well. It's a nice touch. What do you think? Seems a bit quiet on the outside, but, you know. A 1946 Taylorcraft, get out of town, really? That's awesome. Flying without the door, you better believe it. But the model looks so good. It flies so well, and it can go so slow. It's ridiculous. And the chicken ranch, all the trucks. Wasn't that in Breaking Bad? Your man with the chickens. Right, let's bring this in for a landing. Oh, jeez, go handy. Easy now. I don't know whether they're cows or horses. They're going to get a fright anyway. They're horse cows. No, they're cows. Right, watch your speed. There's 30 knots, look. Hold the nose. Easy, easy. There we go. Maybe a little tweak on the ground roll as well, maybe. So the Aeroprakt A32 Vixen by GotFriends. I do believe it's available right now, lads, if you want to grab it. Over on the GotFriends, is it GotFriends website? Yes. Available right now. You can buy this aircraft for €21.95. 20 bucks. 20 bucks. When you lose the notebook while flying with the doors. Speaking of the notebook, look at the notebook, look. See it moving. There's physics in the notebook, look. It moves. The thing is alive. Jesus, I just flew by looking at a notebook. Oof. Right. It's released on the website. Yes, you can pick it up directly from the GotFriends website. I'll give you a link right now, lads. 20 bucks. There'll be the link. Also, the airport ICAO code of where we at. It's 5 Oscar India 8. Johnstown, Ohio. £19 for those on the other side of the puddle. There you go. It's a nice machine. Right. Avionics. And just like that, it stops. Did you enjoy that? It's nice. It is a nice plane. Well done, GotFriends. I know you guys have been working on this for quite some time, and it's great to see it now released into the sim. So fantastic work and exciting news that you're going to be working with Heaven Bound again on another aircraft. That's awesome. That is awesome. But yeah, it's it ticks many boxes, lads, when it comes to you know, just having an aircraft of this size with the features and its capability for stall. You know, can you put your covers back on for once? It's pretty cool though, isn't it? It's pretty cool, lads. It's such a unique airplane as well. Like, as I say, if you go over to the Aeroprakt website and you'll just get a feel for, like, you know, all the optional extras. Like, for $210,000, you're buying this thing top of the range. The avionics alone are $40,000, right? So you take out like the mad avionics and the parachute and a few other bits, you probably get away with about $130,000 for a brand new airplane. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So awesome stuff. Steve, thank you very much indeed for subscribing, and GotFriends, very well done, lads. Delighted for you, and yeah, hopefully we're going to see a lot of people flying this soon. Definitely. And you can get mad colours, greens and stuff. Right? I went with the very basic neutral one, which is a bit of crack, do you know? So there we have it. There we have it. If you equip it with the cheaper Dynon system, you can get them for about 150k. Yeah, it's like it's for nothing. 150, like, considering that's a new aeroplane, right? Now, what I'm trying to do here, and I wouldn't, that's what delayed me. I'm trying to, does anyone else have this issue? I'm trying to get into my library and the thing never, ever loads. It just goes into this spinning. It's after shag and loading. Why is it when you're here, this loads, and when I'm trying to do the thing, it doesn't shag and load? Oh, right, hang on. ENSB. I need to turn this off because I'm using the iniBuilds one. So, more options. Disable. Why does it, do you know? Landing challenge. I don't want that. Community content installed. Perfecto. Right, lads, we're going to go over now and have an old gawk at a scenery, right?
Can I get a refund?
No, there's no refunds. We'll use the same plane. So where are we going? ENMB, is it? Echo November Sierra Bravo. Now, there is a default one, Longyear Svalbard. There is a default one, but this one, different kettle of fish, lads. Different kettle of fish. So we're loaded in here. And where would we go? We'll go down to... we'll go here. That's a helipad. We'll go to the small gator. Now, I don't think I can make this daytime because, like, isn't it nighttime all day here now? Uh-huh. Yeah. Science. We're doing science. Right, so we're going to have a quick look at this. This is from iniBuilds, Svalbard Longyear Airport, right? We'll learn a little bit about all this now, lads. So, discover the harsh Arctic environment with our detailed rendition of Svalbard Airport Longyear. Echo November Sierra Bravo, 4 flights in 2024.
60% of the time, it works.
Every time.
Every time.
I've lost my mouse. Here it is. Right, we'll hop in here now. Look at the state of the scenery around us. Look, Jesus. Right, hang on. We'll do one of these. Look, and then we'll check it out. Located on the island of Spitsbergen in the Svalbard region, it is the world's northernmost airport with scheduled public flights, serving as a vital connection between the Arctic and the mainland Norway, with Longyear Airport offering regular flights to Oslo, Tromsø, and seasonal charters that bring scientists, tourists, and adventurers to this polar outpost. This is created by Jacob Lukasvecki. Try that again. Lucas Zveski. Let's go with that. In association with iniBuilds. Now, you can pick up this airport from iniBuilds. It's priced at £11.99. And some of the features we have: custom ground textures, high quality buildings, detailed recreation of the landside area, custom models, fully customized night lighting, including runway and taxi lights, and it comes with its own GSX profile. So let's explore the ticket, shall we? I mean, you're in very kind of mad remote areas, but look at the scenery around it. Isn't it gorgeous? That is gorgeous, right? I watched Kenko fly here. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's an Audi. I watched Kenko fly in here. That's a Fiat. Oh, Jesus. No Skodas. I watched Kenko fly in here last week, and I was well impressed. Brilliant! There's a Skoda. It's all right. It's all right. What do you mean more bleak? Great scenery. There's a Skoda. But look at some of the detailing we have here, look, right? So all our sign postages, you know, Moscow and Paris and, you know, North Poland. That's the North Pole. 1,300 miles away. So you do that, you know, Tromsø, Sydney, South Pole, London. Pretty cool. They're looking at the signs going, sure, look how far away we are. Right, well, let's just do a little bit of exploring. Flybus. Yes.
Hello there.
Really nice on frames, actually, I gotta say. This is very good. The Dirty Man, welcome in. Let's have some interiors, but I don't think we can go in. Probably in first person mode we can. Right? I like the placement of Skodas here. This is really nice. I'm going to make it all snowy now in a second. It's pretty nice, isn't it? Perimeter fencing with barbed wire. Jesus. Is that a Bristow? I hardly get Bristow up this neck of the woods. No. It's a rescue chopper, look. Beautiful buildings. It's just, it's nice to get like a scenery this far off the beaten track, because it just gives you an excuse to go exploring this region, right? And like, as you can see from the landscape around it, this place is painfully gorgeous looking. Look at the state of the place. I mean, I love that. Sceneries like this invite you to go exploring to places ordinarily you just wouldn't go. You know what I mean? Nicely modeled control tower. Got a polar bear. Probably maintenance hangars. Pretty cool, right? Anyone can live in Svalbard legally if you can afford it. Is it expensive living here? I imagine it is, right? I imagine it is. So, beautiful textures. The modelling is great on the buildings. The taxiway signage, everything here looks absolutely bang on. And the local scenery, lads, it is stunning. Isn't it? Look at the state of this. But let's kind of... Oh, look, we got the harbour down here, look. That's mad, look. Loads of little details. And a ship. Gas maybe, or oil. Oil probably. Little marinas. And then you head downtown into, I think that's Svalbard down there, look. So, well, how does it look in its native environment, you ask? Well, let's go and have a look. If I just change this to live weather, will it white out for me? Yep. It sure does. Get a bit of light in the subject as well. At this time of the year, it's nighttime, you know, all the time, you know. So, it's pretty cool, but like, look at the scenery, lads. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all this, all the radars up here, look. What the deuce? That's awesome. It's like that scene out of the X-Files, you know. Boulders out running through. They're all like, that's all radar domes and weather domes and stuff. That's awesome. It's pretty cool, right? Now, the last thing we'll do, we'll check out in the night lighting. And of course, you've gone to the wrong time of the year. Here we go. Ooh. Oh, man, look at that. Oh, that's pretty. It's hard to see, but it's pretty. Brighten it up there, Murph. Yep, you devil. Now that, friends, that is pretty. That's gorgeous. So rumble in. The pappies aren't happy. Now they're happy. We'll come down by the terminal just to check out the lighting. And you can see the lights of Svalbard over there in the distance. Oh yeah, that's nice, isn't it? That is pretty. That's awesome lighting. Longyear. I wonder where I got the name Longyear. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Good LOD, yeah, it's really good. The Aurora would be gorgeous here as well. Yes, it would. No, I'm impressed with this. And like, it's a big enough facility, right? I mean, it's a fairly beefy runway, so I mean, you're going to be able to get your large aircraft in here. Ideal for something like an A400, you know. So, good stuff from iniBuilds, man. This is a pretty, it's a pretty airport, for sure, and it's in a gorgeous location. We need to come flying here soon. All this neck of the woods is just gorgeous. I mean, look at the mountains. Look, unbelievable, unbelievable. Right, so moving on. This is going to be hilarious. Right, friends, we're now moving on to a very different segment, you see. And I need to get some things set up. So we'll come over to this screen for a minute while I'm setting things up, because you know what I'm like. Will that work? Oh, it did. Will that work? It did. All my things are working. Right, now, hang on. I need to do some stuff here, right? Let me see now. We're going to press some buttons. And we're going to go into... Where is this now? Where's this now? We're going to press some buttons. And we're going to do some stuff. So we're going to be chatting to John. John is a production manager at Airplane Simulation Company, and they are developing the upcoming C-130J for DCS, right? And we're going to try and learn as best we can, right? So, John, stand by. We'll get you on the blower here now in just a moment. I need to press some buttons. That's why I'm stalling, right? Because you know the way
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Yeah. Do you know the way I'm very prepared in that, right? I'm very prepared. Now I need to press some buttons. So hang on a second now. Where is? Yes, we can go. Yes, we can do one of those. And let me see. We can do one of those and do one of them and do one of these and do one of those. Right. So we'll do one of these. Yes. And underneath we'll do one of those. Sometimes my genius is enough to scare. Writing system. How do we do more options here now? Yeah, that's okay. Hang on now, lads. We're getting there. Enable this. Yes. Center. Yes. All is looking good. So I'll turn all this on here now in just a moment. And well, let's see what's going to happen here now. So we're going to press some buttons. I'm going to come over to this screen so we can all see what's happening, right? And then I'm going to fire up DCS, which is, I haven't done that on a live stream before. So this should be interesting. Right, so experimentation in progress. You better believe it. So into Steam we go, library and DCS. Now, there's instructions I need to follow here as well. Yes, I use DCS on Steam. It's just, I don't know why, I just did. Now, I have that file installed. Now, let me see. I need to make sure the latest build. Grand. Okay, so I need to do a bit of work when we're in. Right, grand. Let's fire this up. Now, Ermagerd, yeah, Ermagerd. Now, the reason why we're showing this, lads, DCS, I haven't done much with DCS on the channel, and only because the modules, as good as they are, the learning curve to get in and figure out the controls, it's enough to, like, you know, scare the crap out of you. Do you know what I mean? I knew that was getting reaction. Conti, good to see you, buddy. However, if you're into the combat side of things, you're probably already using DCS, right? Chances are you're using it. You're already using the World War II stuff or the Cold War stuff or modern, whatever. You know, you're probably already using it. What's interesting about the C-130 with the J variant, apart from being Lockheed Martin's, you know, latest and greatest C-130, it opens up the world to DCS to something a little bit different. A little bit different, right? And that's what we're going to have a look at here this evening. Right, so yes, you can all be blasphemy. Murphy's used it in Steam. It's just I've had it installed on Steam, right? So let everything load up here now. Hopefully it won't explode, and we're going to see what the crack is here now in a moment. So we'll get John in here now in a second. So this is looking at the machining, right? And when it comes to DCS, I have a couple of modules. You know, I have a couple of bits and pieces. So yeah, we should be good. We should be good. Right, John, we'll get you on the blower. How's this? Press buttons, Murph. Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Very good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Listen, thanks for giving us the opportunity to showcase this machine off. So I'm very much at your disposal, John. Like I was the last time, it was like trying to herd cats or lift a frying egg or a fried egg with a knife. But I have been keeping tracks on the aircraft and slowly but surely get my way around it. But there's probably a few on-screen things we want to do. Just to get us set up, and then I'll be able to do that other thing in a moment as well.
Okay, yeah, great. I was thinking we could do something like we talked about, where kind of like a similar style of what you're doing with the aircraft on the stream before, just with you know, some question and answer as we go through the startup procedure. We can take a little tour around the cockpit, show off some of the cooler things that we've included around the airplane, not just in terms of systems, but some pretty immersive features that I think a lot of people will really appreciate. And we'll get her going, taxi, and get her up to the air and show what it's like to fly an airplane this size in a tactical manner.
And I was saying this to you the last time, it was like, for an aircraft of this size inside of DCS, when you consider, the civilian flight simmers looking at this thinking, oh, hang on a second, there's actually far more than specifically combat. This introduces in a fairly gentle way the tactical side of flying the C-130, and that's what you guys seem to have nailed here with this, because anything from the performance of the aircraft and the features that are actually included on the real world J variant, you've captured that so very well in DCS. So I think a lot of the civilian flight simmers will be looking at this thinking, yeah, this could be a reason to press install. We hope.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's I think that's kind of one of the things that surprised us the most about this airplane is, we knew it was airliner-esque. Just looking at the cockpit, it looks very familiar to like the likes of a 737. But then, when we were actually going through the process of building this, I mean, there's a lot of callbacks to civilian aviation in a very interesting way. I mean, if you think about how they actually built this airplane, they pretty much took the FMS of like a Boeing 737 and then slapped an additional computer on the backside, and then built a user interface to interact with that computer. So it's you have pretty much all the features of a civilian airliner you can come to expect, like a route page and all your performance initialization. It can do a hold just as in the same fashion that you would in an airliner, and then you can hit a button and then suddenly you're defining an airdrop all in the same computer. And yeah, I mean, it's really just, it's going to be an awesome segue for people that they're not going to have that intimidation factor of, I've only flown an A320 and I'm looking for controls that are familiar to me, and I'm sitting in an F-16.
Hello there.
This is completely foreign and it's overwhelming, and I don't even know how to turn the battery on, much less actually start the engine. Whereas, this plane's going to feel really at home.
Hello there.
To a lot of people, I think. Just being able to get the engines going, I think you'll be able to do that without any tutorials, and you know, just getting up into the air is going to be a really big motivating factor for people to be able to, you know, actually give them a reason to segue deeper into, you know, the systems of the airplane.
Absolutely, and it's weird. It's like one of those things, right? It's you have the familiarity with the aircraft, albeit in the world of DCS, but it's I don't know. It's like driving left hand or right hand. Give it 5 or 6 minutes, you're at home. I mean, you're flying. It's aviation. It's flight simming. It's the same thing, right? Granted, it's directed into new areas, as you say, but there's a lot of familiarity with this. So, yeah, listen, look, I'm excited to get folks' eyes on. So, where do you want me to go on this? Is it true multiplayer? Yeah.
Yeah, we do single player. It was a really bad timing. DCS pushed a 120 gig update, so I'm still in the process of downloading that. Yeah, but you can go to mission and load up the mission file that I sent you earlier today.
Okie dokie. So that one, and
yeah, it should be merp.ms.
Okie dokie. Now, do we need like private things here for this, or can we just shout? Because I can turn stuff off.
Sorry, back out of that menu.
Back one.
Yeah, I'm watching your stream now. Sorry about that.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Hit OK.
Sweet.
On the Yep, there you go.
Okay.
And there's going to be something coming up that you'll want to hide your screen for.
So I'm going to do that now straight away, and like just bear with me, lads, so we know what happens, because I need to follow a bit of jiggery pokery. As we say, like when you're dealing with an aircraft on any platform, if it's still being actively worked on, it's being actively worked on, right? So we're going to try and get this one ready for us. So I just need to follow these instructions here on the side, and we'll get this one sorted here now. So let me see now when we get some buttons pressed. Now, so I'm going to do some stuff. Just bear with me now one moment. I suppose, John, while we're waiting, I don't know, like, have you any, you know, where are you guys at in terms of, you know, release schedule, or, you know, where we are now versus where you guys want the project to be? Are we far from that finish line without like sitting on a specific date? Are we talking weeks or months?
Yeah, we're not far at all. People are active in our Discord server. They've seen our public timeline of October was, or I guess this month was, you know, our best case scenario date. Sometime in November is probably more realistic, and December is still going to meet our timeline. Pretty much what we said was, you know, before the end of the year, but it's really looking like it's going to be sometime. You know, in the next month or so, I would say is most likely. Obviously, that's subject to change, just with the dynamic nature of development. But
yeah,
it's definitely closer than when we've ever been before, and it's really cool just to be at this state. I mean, for this project has been going on for about 4 years now, and I was kind of talking to the other people on our testing group about this a couple of days ago. But around this time, every year for the past 2 years, we've said like this is, you know, this next year is going to be the year we release it, and things have come up, and for whatever reason, that was not the year that we released it. So it's kind of cool that we're at the stage of the project where we are able to show it off, and it is only, you know, a finite number of days from being out to the public, and it's gonna be pretty weird to see this on other people's computers versus just on our testing group.
Sweet. It's exciting, man. It really is. Now, right, you know this already, right? I'm a special kind of devil, but following your instruction, not seeing what you're. Never mind. No, yeah, no.
Okay, yeah. So it's yeah, you'll be able to see it. I showed it to you when we were doing our private call. You'll be able to see whether or not it's actually turned off pretty readily.
Okay, because I don't actually see the option going through there.
You're in the cargo menu, right?
Yeah.
On the settings tab at the far right, you don't have a toggle at the third line down? If you don't, then it means it's disabled anyway.
Yeah, I can't see it there. So in where we should be, yeah, I'm not seeing the options for it.
Okay, send me a screenshot of what you're looking at if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
I just want to triple check that I don't inadvertently reveal this. It's just a feature that we're keeping under wraps for the time being.
It's the go
For everyone
faster,
who's
the go faster stripe.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. That's gone to you there now. Just stand by one moment, lads. Yeah, there's a black screen. Don't worry. We're there's just trying to fix a thing.
Oh, okay. No, click on the settings at the very far right. You're on the cargo tab.
Okay. And I'll show you what I have on that screen. Now, that's what I can see on that. That makes sense?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Okay. Hide the cargo menu, zoom out a little bit, and show me what it looks like just out the window.
This is brilliant. I'm getting a crash course in DCS as well. This is fantastic. Brilliant. Right, quick look here. And that's a view. Where did that save? Right, and that's what we're looking at there. Do. Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you were good.
Grand, right, we're good. Brilliant. I didn't break it. Fantastic. Right, hang on.
Yeah, sorry for all the paranoia.
You're quite okay. You're quite okay. So let me see now. There are button binds and stuff I have to learn, but sure, as the fella said, we'll get there eventually. But looking at the aircraft in its raw, unprocessed state, well, there is the C-130J, and well, we've options here when it comes to liveries, we've options when it comes to loadout, and of course, well, there's options on top of the options. So certainly from the external view, it's you know, it's unmistakable. It is that of a C-130, which is great to see.
Yeah, I think it has a very nice ramp presence. I mean, compared to the C-130H model, it's definitely longer. You know, it's got the new 6-bladed scimitar propellers on it, and yeah, it's overall it's just a very nice looking airplane, I think.
Mm-hmm. And it's gas because, like, I mean, the C-130s have been flying for so long, and with the J variant, you know, they've upgraded so many things. In particular, one of the best ones, of course, is its countermeasures. This kind of infrared laser spotter at the back, and you know, chaff and flares can be launched from it as well. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the J model is a pretty quantum leap in terms of the capabilities of the C-130 as an airplane. I mean, this as a platform, the C-130 has been in service for over 70 years now, and you know, what they've done with the J model is still, even, you know, after almost 30 years of being in service, it's still one of the most, you know, technically capable airlifters in the world. Maybe not compared to something like an A400, but that's also you know, 20 years newer. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about the laser countermeasures on the back. You have those two little balls on either side of the fuselage that, in a it sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, like the phasers from Star Trek, where yeah, it'll shoot a laser into the seeker of an inbound missile, and then actually, you know, kind of drag it away from the rest of the airplane, so that by the time the laser turns off, the seeker can't see anything because the airplane's out of the field of view, and it just kind of goes away. So that's still compared to the systems that are being tested now, that's actually pretty outdated, which is kind of impressive.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so with the aircraft, as I said, I spent a little bit of time, and you know, you were very kind to kind of show me some of the keybinds and stuff that's available. So anyone who's used to watching DCS, this might come across a little bit clunky. I just ask you bear with me for a bit. But we have options, of course. I mean, we can appear and disappear the pilots, of course, inside in the flight deck if you don't want that. And we'll just, you know, a general look around at kind of textures where everything is. It's all presented very, very nicely indeed. Just for anyone who is just joining us, I'll turn off the name tag just for John here in the chat, just in case it's blocking any views. But if anyone's asking, John from Airplane Simulation Company is here with us on the line, and it's a first look at what this aircraft is all about, and it's far beyond just you know, the looks, the modelling. The sounds are absolutely incredible, and then you have the systems, and I was really blown away by the depth of systems on this. which is incredible, you know. So yeah, F4. So like the external visuals here, we can get in and do all this kind of stuff. But as I said, it's all a matter of keybinds and where everything is and moving around and yeah. But anyway, now in terms of getting the aircraft into action, will I just kind of belt on, or is there anything in particular you want me to look at?
Yeah, no, not really. There's a couple things that I want to kind of show off, but it requires the battery to be on and the plane to be powered. So
Sweet.
yeah, we can just maybe look around the cockpit a little bit and show it off, and it's quite larger than a lot of people expect.
It's like the flight deck itself. I mean, anyone who's seen the inside of a C-130 before, it's relatively similar. However, with the J, obviously you're getting, you know, all the screens. They've minimized the workload, something fierce, considering the lack of, you know, buttons, right? And also the logic of all the screens. I mean, you've so much redundancy. You can pretty much put what you want where you want. Which it's from a pilot's perspective, it's very handy. I mean, you can see all the systems. You know, we'll have a look at it. You'll get an idea, but just looking at the flight deck of this aircraft off the bat, it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it is. It's much more. If you look at C-130H model, I mean, that thing is just all buttons and gauges, and you've got it's horrendously complex. And that airplane required 3 crew members, and systemically the airplane didn't really change that much, vis-a-vis the fuel system or their hydraulic system or really any of that. And they went from 3 crew members down to 2 crew members just based on the automation and those displays you're talking about. I mean, it's I was telling you a couple weeks ago, it's probably one of the most intuitive avionics systems I've used.
Mm-hmm.
And I've a variety of experience, not just in flight sim airplanes, but also real world airplanes. And yeah, I mean, for not being a clean sheet design, they've really they being Lockheed have really knocked it out of the park. And just it is a horrendously complex and automated airplane, but it has to be, in order to remove that 3rd crew member.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, again, like looking around the flight deck, like there's so many there's so many things no longer there that would have been in the older variants, because on other sims the attempts have been made obviously to bring C-130s to life, not without the fidelity of systems, but they certainly look familiar, right? And cockpits for that matter as well. And you're just looking back, as you say, like 1 or 2 generations of the aircraft, you're like, well, whoa, where did all that go? And again, from the civilian side, you're saying, well, sure, it's kind of the natural evolution. I mean, consider the 747s going from the classic, and then everything becomes very, very modern. Literally one switch replaces that of maybe 10 or 15 individual buttons, which is very interesting to see. And and this can't be overstated, but certainly anyone coming into the chat, for me, why is this Egypt showing this? For me, I think this is going to be some great options to bring in civilian flyers on other platforms who maybe haven't really looked at DCS to explore this type of flying. I think this is an add-on, and I said it to you before, John, as well. I mean, the only other aircraft I'm aware of on the platform that kind of mimicked this kind of tactical cargo stuff, of course, is a Chinook, right? But now you have those options of the load master is in there. You can carry your cargo, and even based on the real world C-130J, I mean, it can be troop transport, it can be Kazovac, so you're bringing out patients, whatever, and of course all your cargo as well. So it is an interesting platform, I think, for folks to kind of check it out, So yeah, I mean, look at the visuals on this. It's instantly recognizable as a C-130, and it is it's a fairly big space inside the flight deck, but it's also not so very big. I mean, the C-130s, they were known, there's so much glass all over the places and windows to look out from. But in terms of our main components, you're talking your standard overhead, you got your main panel, and then you have your lower panel. And yeah, the Hawkeyes I've already seen. Was that a microwave that you managed to throw into this as well?
There is a microwave.
Tell us about the microwave. It's not just a microwave, sure it's not.
No, it's not. It's actually, well, kind of hilariously, the genesis of a a custom physics engine. Um, yeah, it started a couple years ago. We were trying to animate the microwave. We wanted it to be able to, like the, yeah, I see you're playing with it right now. We wanted to put full physics on the microwave door, and have the door pretty much slam closed whenever you braked hard, or if it was unlatched, it would fly backwards if you accelerated hard. And that was kind of the jumping off point for a larger physics engine on this airplane. And you'll see it as you're flying around. Those ICS cords that are hanging from the ceiling, those will move around in reaction to what you're doing with the airplane. And it's not just some canned animation like maybe we've seen in some other airplanes, but it's a full independent physics engine running outside of DCS. It's driving all of that. And that same engine's has, or what's the word? That same engine is driving all the cargo interaction in the back, all of the dynamics back there, and yeah, it became
There's a lot going on, right? And you've mentioned cargo,
yeah.
and if you don't, I'll just keep kind of floating around the place, checking things out, just to show where things are at the moment. But yeah, I mean, full cargo bay is there, loadmaster station is there, and I was even reading like a single crew, a crew chief can actually convert what this aircraft can carry all by their lonesome. I mean, the panels on the ground literally clip up and they can turn them around. They can put rollers in there, they can put tie hooks in there, or they can put solid flooring in there. They can actually, transfer that aircraft themselves, which is huge when you think about it. Like, it's not just, the modernization, if you like, hasn't just gone into, the flight deck or the weapon systems. It's actually gone into the cargo. I mean, this thing is built for that. It's to get equipment, be it human or whatever, anywhere quickly. And you can absolutely see that with the layout of the aircraft. And I have to say, the interior modeling, it's a beautiful space.
Yeah, it is. Certainly not without a lack of trying. It was incredibly painful to get it to this point, but I mean, it really does look just really incredible, and the tension marks on the fabric, and just all the little details, and like you were saying about the one person being able to convert the cargo bay. That's one of the lesser known upgrades that this airplane got, is they pretty much completely redid the floor of the cargo bay. So like you were saying, those rollers can flip upside down so that the entire floor is flat, which allows them to drive vehicles in. And also on both sides of the cockpit, those rectangular raised bars are electronic locks, and they interface with a entirely separate part of the airplane that they added with the J model, and it's pretty technologically advanced, and just in the cargo bay. I mean, much less up front.
It's incredible, and like I don't know what it is. It's the lighting and the texture work and everything. Like in here, it's phenomenal. It's gorgeous, and you can see the different configurations. I mean, you got your benches there for troop transport, and questions coming in. What sort of cargo, and like where does the simulation kind of move on from? The visuals. What can you actually do with this space?
Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot. So this is actually a feature that I wanted to talk about when we got the airplane powered up. But if you go back to the cockpit and hit the 3 key.
Number 3. Roger.
Yeah, there you go. And you can use WASD to walk around.
Aha, brilliant. I was looking for that. All right, so
yeah,
we got
this is kind of what we teased in the in one of the trailers, is that we actually have a walk around feature.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's not just moving the camera per se. It's actually gives you a lot more freedom than just using the camera controls. And that's what I was talking about, the system that the locks interfaced into, that tablet right there. But yeah, so what we can do is we can return to the cockpit briefly, just so we can get hydraulic pressure to lower the ramp. And then we can walk outside and show off some of the cargo and the MOAB that people so aptly spotted.
Sweet. Okay, so this is going to be battery on, hydraulics on, correct? Well, probably APU
Can we turn
on.
the battery on?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. We'll turn the APU on as well. So first
right.
up, as we can go to the overhead and the battery switch.
So we can test this. We can just check voltage on AV and also utility. So that's working okay. And we'll go ahead now and prime the battery. You got some sounds coming through here. All coolers, might as well just set these up for when we're going to use them later on. Same with the gens.
Yeah, there you go.
What else do you want to do? APU, give it a second, because we will get all sorts of beep beep noises. Let that do its stuff for the moment. Have a quick look down here. Did I turn that gadget on? I did. He's on.
Yeah, so it'll be about a minute.
And that's the thing, like the actual timings of the aircraft, you know, because I, of course, thought I broke it. It's like, oh, the APU won't turn on, but you have to wait. I mean, the systems, it takes about a minute or so to fire up, to warm up. And it's the same with the IRS alignment, all right? So it's, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of computers going on behind the scenes, and yeah, it takes the mission computer to allow the APU to start, and the mission computer doesn't come online for about a minute as it runs all of its power-up tests.
Okay, so APU, click it to run, and then start. Check out our 3 little lights.
That dash display means the APU door is opening. And it should fire up around 10%. There you go.
That's just the APU sounds, lads. Nuts.
Yeah, all these sounds were recorded from a real airplane. So somehow, some way, we got official permission from a squadron that flies C-130Js, and they let us come out for a couple days with microphones and record pretty much every sound that the airplane can make.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. All right, so APU is going okay. We're going to go ahead and go APU power and the bleeds. Okay, so we've got bleed air pressure coming up. So we're looking now for hydraulics. We can play with that one first.
Yeah, so we're going to use the aux hydraulic pump right there.
Okay, pump on. And you can hear that spin up as well. We'll get our utility and boost turned on here as well. Anti-skid, I'll leave that on for later on. Lights, leave them alone for the moment. Our crew alert system, leave that while we are waiting, because we're going to go and play, I think, with some of the cargo stuff. But while we're waiting, I might just set up things here. Oh no, we'll get a reading soon for our alignment. So yeah, we should be good.
Yeah, that'll take a couple minutes. So what we can do is we can, we'll go out of the ramp first and show off the cargo before we come back in here. That works for you.
Okay, so outside?
So let's go to the AMU, the right screen.
Movie Dibble. ARU, right, go ahead.
AMU, yeah. It's the pre-flight line on the second one from the left.
Okay. You guys see
and
that,
then
okay?
where it says ramp door wow override.
Turn it on?
That, yep, we'll turn that on. So what that is doing is there's a weight on wheels interlock. So when the weight on wheels interlock is on, you cannot lower the ramp from the cockpit. And that's for a number of reasons. The largest of which is it's a safety feature, because if you just drop the ramp from the cockpit, you can't see what's behind you. You might crush someone, or you might stand the airplane up on its tail.
Okay.
Or on its nose, rather. So once that's on, we can go down to the center console and use the ramp door switch to open the ramp.
Okay, ramp door, so we're going to go to open, yeah?
Yep. You'll just hold that there. And you'll hear a bunch of dings, and that's the ACAWS system alerting you that the cargo ramp and the cargo door are not closed.
Okay, they show us open.
Yeah, you'll hold that for probably 10 to 15 seconds while they fully open.
Crew chief goes flat, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the hydraulic actuators on the ramp are pretty powerful. Like, you can pretty much not lift the airplane off its mains, but get it light enough to where you damage the ramp.
That's crazy.
Cool. That looks probably fine. So if you go back and hit your 3 key, you can release that switch.
Okie doke.
Yeah, so now the ramp's down. So we can use our walk around feature to walk out of the back.
Nice.
And one of the fun things I like about this airplane is if you look on the right, there's a ladder hanging there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a maintenance ladder to carry around with them to let them put in the plugs on and covers for the engines.
Oh, really?
So that flies around the airplane all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just a little giant ladder that they they strap to the side of it. Looks like you fell through the cargo floor, but that's okay.
That's Murphy's Law. I'll fall many times before I can stand, you know me.
No worries. Yeah, so you can looks like it teleported you back. Okay.
Don't panic.
Oh, you're using the actual camera.
No, I had to because I got stuck on the floor.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Let's see how we get on here. Okay, so in terms of having stuff on the ground or to see.
Yeah, so I spawned in some cargo assets in the Moab to the left of the airplane that we can walk up to and take a look at.
Oh yes, things that will go very loud boom. Yes.
Yeah, the Moab makes a very, very comically large explosion whenever it goes off.
Man, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, like it's just some of the binds, like it just wouldn't be set up like outside of your default. Like there's nothing else here but default. So we got some crates. We got parachutes on said crates.
Yeah, we do.
You have the Moab in there as well. Here's the detail on them.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Those crates and barrels were modeled by our artists, and there's something pretty special when the parachutes go out of the back. We have a fully animated and simulated parachute deployment process that takes into account a bunch of physics and ballistics, and it's a pretty cool effect. We included that in the the pre-order trailer, I think, but it's been improved since then as well.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, so right now we're working on extraction chutes that'll rip vehicles out of the back of the airplane.
No way. So they'll pretty much roll back a small bit, then the wind hits the chute and gone.
Yeah, you'll actually. It's a really cool deployment process. The extraction chute actually hangs from the ceiling, and it gets released, and it literally falls out of the back of the airplane, and then inflates, and then the parachute pulls the load free.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there's a cool thing about the Moab. If you walk up to the back of it, this is one of the little things that made me laugh whenever I was going over the reference images of this bomb. These are all completely hand built, by the way. Like each one is bespoke; they're not mass produced.
Right.
But if you look at the back, that little puck right there, the white one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you zoom in on it.
Do not paint.
There's some text. Yeah, you'll see why. There's some text on that. You might not be able to zoom in at that camera, but it's a GPS antenna. So the bomb itself is GPS guided.
Yeah, right.
That's and it uses those four massive grid fins to steer.
That's insane.
Yep.
That's crazy. Right, okay. Right, and again, like, look at the detail. Like, that's savage. Look how crisp and sharp the textures are there. Look, that's real nice.
Yeah, we have some pretty talented artists on our team that just went crazy on this.
It's awesome looking, man. Savage detailing, and I really like that. That's cool looking. And it's just it's cargo.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's boxes and barrels. I mean, that's all it is, but it looks incredible. And this will not be the only cargo that people will be able to carry. You'll be able to pretty much load anything that will fit dimensionally within the C-130 and carry it.
Awesome. Okay. There's so much going on with this, man. It's like, and you'll have to excuse me dodgy camera movements, but we'll get there, lads. We'll get there. But even this mad joke we're looking at, I mean, this is this technology. It's nuts. And as you said, like, I mean, they're almost at the stage where they're passing it out again. So basically what this works, this is looking at incoming infrared, heat seeker, all this kind of stuff. And effectively what it does, it jams it. It's just sending out its own frequency and jams the missiles coming in. Cool.
Yeah, it's a literal laser that shoots out of that.
And there's 2 of them.
There are, yep.
Sweet. A couple of questions coming in from the chat. So, will there be soldiers or paratroopers?
Can I get a refund?
We would like there to be. We're relying on some external functionality to be added for that to be possible. So, at release, no, but that is something that we'd like to put in at a later date.
Okay, sweet. Jay, it's all happening now. Old Veteran just gifting 10 tier 1 subs right here on Twitch. Scott, thank you very much indeed. I deserve nothing, but thank you very, very much indeed. Awesome. They show a lot of liveries, including AN12 fictional livery. Is there a JASDF livery or a JASDF?
Oh, is it the Japan Air Force?
I think it's Defense Force, isn't it?
I don't know. We don't have it included at the moment. I know we have a couple more liveries on the list that we want to add before release. I couldn't say whether or not JAS is on the list.
Okay, it's there's lots to explore here, and like that's what again, like that's what I'm saying, like for people just to have a look at this and then consider picking it up. There's so much going on with this plane. It's going to it should terrify you. You know what I mean? Right. So hang on. If I press some buttons now and reset some things, right? We can do that. So in terms of loading or any of that, we can do that, I suppose, another day. But if we just close the ramp maybe and get some power in, we'll see how we get on.
That's good.
That was very loud. Buttons have been pressed. Welcome in, lads. Can the Loadmaster open the ramp from the back?
I believe
Hello there.
There's a panel back there with a control switch on it.
A question is as well, when you talk about multi-crew, you and I have operated this in a pilot, co-pilot scenario, and it was great. Is there, can it extend on that? I mean, can you have your loader back there as well, your Loadmaster?
Yeah, so that's definitely the idea. Right now we have the pilot, co-pilot, and augmented crew implemented right now, and I believe that we'll have the Loadmaster station in on release as well, if not on release shortly thereafter.
Okay. Right, we reset that and jump us back in here. Right, so that would appear to be closed. Right, okay, so we shall continue on and try and get this machine up and running. So FMS, this is familiar territory for those in your normal kind of civilian flight sims. And there's a lot of coding in with this as well. So, I mean, you're talking, look, even from the IRS alignment, it can go direct from GPS. It'll actually go from its last known position, or you can feed it in a reference number as well. So once you have that, well, we want to align them. So let that go off now and start aligning. And as we're waiting for that to happen, I suppose it's a good option now to start having a look at some of the systems. I was fairly blown away by this because a lot of the systems, in particular when it came to breaker checks or fire retardant tests, it's all automated. It's all digital breakers.
It is, yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah, there's I think part of the consequence is that there's so many systems on the airplane that you could not physically have enough breaker panels to include all of them, and a lot of them actually are interactable. Which the interesting thing about this airplane is that if people aren't familiar with the concept, there's traditional circuit breakers that you would see on a normal airplane near your house, where you're able to walk up, pull it, and disable the system. Mm-hmm. But there's also, on this airplane and a lot of other technologically advanced ones, something called electronic circuit breakers. Mm-hmm. So those are interacted with via the avionics screens, like Murph is doing right now. And so those can be interacted with via the avionics structure. And they're not just breakers in the sense that they're in or they're out. They actually are interfaced to a lot of the switches around the airplane. So, for example, if you press, I believe it's the anti-skid. Just an example is the anti-skid switch. If you turn the physical switch off, it actually pulls the electronic breaker for the anti-skid system.
That's
which
nuts.
is it's kind of yeah, it's very weird, but it also lends itself to redundancy because this airplane is obviously designed for a combat environment, and there's a thing called soft panels, which won't be included for release because it's a horrendous can of worms to get into. But basically, soft panels are used in the event that a button or an entire panel fails and allows you to pretty much do anything that you would be able to with physical switches, you'd be able to do through the CNI.
Okay, okay. While we're here, I wonder, can I get a rearm from here, or will this upset everything? Probably won't. Right, so what we'll do, in order to clear these, again, there was something kind of rudimentary, I can't speak. You showed me something very simplistic, yet it wasn't very simplistic, right? In order to clear these, I was like, right, how does one clear them? So they have these PO, right? These numbers. And these numbers are effectively their references. And it's not just as simple as, okay, key in a number, go ahead, reset it. You can key in multiple numbers, and you've built a system as the real machine does. If you're trying to clear multiple faults, the system is going to second guess you and, you know, are you sure? Right? And it'll actually do that, which is pretty impressive. So all we want to do here, if we just type in, say, 481, 482, 483 and 902, and we're going to click on reset, it's going to say, are you sure you want to verify that? Yep. P codes, that's them. So now we can do the same when it comes to our fire protection, or we can do them individually. If we put in 108 reset, it doesn't ask me to confirm it, it just clears it. So it's only when you're doing multiple ones, and that logic is built into the systems here as well, which is mad. So if you do multiples, there's all our multiples. So that's our electronic circuit breakers sorted. Brilliant news. And well, from there, we can do some other stuff, because if we look at our crew alert system, well, it's showing us some issues. The anti-skid, the mission DTC is not installed, and also the maintenance. So we can clear this stuff as well, right? So if we were to we can turn off the ECB hub here, and that'll give us back our system status below. And if we go into pre-flight, that's not what I'm looking for. Is it ACOS? Yeah.
Yeah, ACOS.
So we go to ACOS, we're going to go to store, and we can then say, well, is it one caution? Is it an advisory you're trying to clear? What are you trying to clear? So we can say, well, look, give me the next line down, and you can see that it's highlighted these issues. So I can say, well, look, store that, and store that. Now I can recall those back, and they'll pop back up on the screen, but I've acknowledged them, so they get out of the alert system. And that's how that works. So that's sorted. What was the other one going to do? The pre-flight stuff. So I think this is where, like, our fire detection test. Now this will be loud. So you'll see APU engines 1 to 4. So there's your warning. We'll go ahead and cancel that warning. Then we can get into, like, the sensor test. You can read sensor data. We can get into the HUD test. So it's pretty cool. Any system you want to look at, for instance, you can see here the you know, what screen do we want things to turn on. If we were going to ACOS over here, sorry, not ACOS, if we were going to diagnostics, you can select what screens you want to see this stuff. And the same is going to be when you're looking at your nav, you know, how you're navigating through your aircraft, be it with VOR, with TACAN. All these options are built into the aircraft. And from the civilian side, well, we've seen a lot of these, you know, stuff before. We've seen quite a lot of this. Radar screens, you'll say, right, well, where do you want the radar? Well, sure, stick it in there on page 2 or on the HDD display 2. And from in here, then you can really get in and start messing around, because you can change all the settings. So think of it as, well, where do you want it to be displayed? You can get in there and display it and change your overlays. Nav aids, for example, we can go ahead and put our airports in here. You know, RWR, what was that again?
Radar warning receiver.
There, see, things that I don't even know. But you can put all of these in on the screen. Then you go back to main menu, and that was just from the, you know, your nav radar stuff. Change the range, and again, you know, you can put things on different screens. If you don't want it there and you want it on number 3, so. You know, it can be a little bit overwhelming when you look at it, but you start to kind of get the logic of it fairly quick, which I was surprised. You know, I mean, I got an idea of it fairly quick, but it is pretty quick that you can do this. Like it doesn't take too long. Like you can give yourself a little bit of introduction to figure out how things work, but like give yourself maybe 10 or 15 minutes. You're actually going to get comfortable with the logic and be like, oh wait, hang on, sure, it'll do this. You know, so it's inviting you in rather than kind of keeping you well back, saying, listen, you know, this is not for you. Go off and study for 6 months, then you can try it. It's not that sort of thing. There's logic to it, and if, you know, once you kind of break that initial 5 or 6 minutes,
hello there,
I think you're going to be doing pretty good. So anyway, I digress and I'm waffling. So what we'll do now, what's the current state? So our APU is running, IRS alignment has taken place. So well, I think it's going to be time to start up these engines, and we'll get moving on. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I believe so. You can throw your HUD down as well, and it'll help you out.
HUD coming on, and we will go viz. We'll also get some lights on. The formation lights are pretty. Let's see here now. Leading edge lights, turn them on as well. And then next up then is going to be the engines. So as we're currently sitting, make sure that we have our power levers not in beta like I did earlier. That'll hold there, lovely. And well, we're going to go for the engine start. So let me see. I want the engine page on this screen. Main menu, engine displayed on number 2. Here's our engine details down here. What was it? 3412?
Yeah, 3412.
Okay, so 3412. So we're going to go to the run, and then we're going to go press and hold start. We're going to wait for that green button to come on. We can see the white box now appear on our screen, letting us know that this engine is active. And I think we wait for NG of about 18 to 20, and she'll fire, right?
Yeah, so it's the start sequence is fully automated.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it introduces fuel at something you were saying, like 18% NG.
Mm-hmm.
That's the nice thing about the J model, is that these engines are controlled by a computer. It's called a full authority digital engine control. It's the same function that you'll find on airliners, but compared to the C-130H, where all of this was manual. They had to manually control the blade angle of the propellers, manually control when to introduce fuel, and take corrective actions manually if necessary. I mean, this does it all for you. Pretty much, if the engine is healthy, then FADEC will completely manage everything. Mm-hmm. And your power levers are really just a request for how much power that you want. And if it's going to hurt the engine, it's not going to give you it. And on the same notion, if there is something going wrong in the engine, ACAUS will of course tell you if it's not critical. But if it is critical, it'll just shut the engine down for you.
So yeah, like FADEC over on the civilian side, a lot of aircraft have them now, and they do exactly that. And it's gas because you kind of have to put so much trust in the machine. You know what I mean? Now there's ways to override it, and then you'd have to really dive into the systems to figure out. I mean, think about how complex these engines are. They're finely tuned, and because there's literally so many different variables, you need a computer now to manage it. But yeah, I mean, in terms of jumping into the Herc and saying, hey, can I just start this thing up with FADEC? Incredibly simplified. And it's important to note as well, you might have just noticed that our flight controls have come alive now. The C-130J, I think it needs 3 engines. No matter what happens, I think it needs 3 engines, right? It's designed to lose 1 if it needed to, but I think it needs 3 engines. That's what gets all the hydraulics working. That's what maintains kind of safe flight, right?
I mean, if you want to be pedantic about it, it really only needs 1 engine.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously flying the thing is going to be very difficult, depending on how many engines and which engines you lose. But like we're talking about, FADEC is really smart, and in the event that you have a 4-engine flameout, which is pretty much impossible, but in the event that you do, it's going to feather 3 of your propellers to reduce drag and improve controllability. But it's also going to sacrifice a little bit of drag and controllability to windmill one of the inboard propellers at 100% NP. And
okay.
That's not going to be great in terms of glide performance, but what it is going to do is provide hydraulic and electrical power to the airplane, which is probably a little bit more, I guess, desirable than falling out of the sky, because it takes however many hundreds of pounds of control force to move the elevators at 150 knots without hydraulic assistance.
Well, as we'd like to say, it'd be handy. Yeah, it'd be handy to have these things. So let's that'll beep at me now, and I want to. So all our engines are running, which is what we want. We're going to go ahead and go torpedo heat.
What are they yelling you about?
Oh, don't worry. I just pressed the button to show a button in a few minutes.
Okay.
I'll fix that now. Don't mind that. Was that your phone? Yeah, it was right. Right now, hang on. We'll get situated back here. There was even logic, John, you were telling me even about the heads-up display. There are certain systems that won't respond until that's kind of where it needs to be on who's flying, right?
Yeah, there are. It goes back to the airplane knowing what's best for you, and overriding your desires, if you will. So if you stow the HUD right now on your side.
Yeah.
And then try and put your nav radar up on your PFD. So HDD1.
So PFD and nav.
Sorry. Go to main menu.
Yeah.
And then nav radar.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You can't.
HDD pause. Yeah, exactly. So and if you put your HUD down again.
And now you can.
And now you click, now you click HDD1. Pretty much what it's doing is it's keeping track of what information is displayed to the pilot. And if certain information is not displayed to the pilot, like if your HUD is stowed, you don't have in front of you airspeed, altitude, attitude, etc., it's going to force the PFD to be on HDD1. As a way of saying, you don't have the necessary flight information in front of you, so I'm going to give it to you.
That's nuts. That is nuts. Okay, so let me see. We're going to go for flaps here now. So we're talking 50 degrees?
Yeah, 50%.
Or 50%,
so that's the
sorry.
interesting thing. Yeah. So the extension of the flap in this airplane is measured in a percentage of the maximum versus degrees on something like a Boeing.
Okay. Right, we're looking good here. Let's see what we can do without, making a terrible fool of ourselves. So, let's just adjust our power here. And we'll go external, give folks a listen to these sounds, because they're impressive, lads. So, mind your ears. Very nice sounds. Beautiful sounds. Right now, let's see. So brakes coming off. Yes. And if I can remember how to do our nose wheel steering, which I think I can. Yes, all is terribly well. Don't hit any other aircraft, Murph. Your first time out in a C-130. We want to come back here. All right.
And there's a couple examples of our liveries on the right. There's a Luftwaffe and then a RAF paint scheme.
Gorgeous. Nice. Okay. Let's see what we can do here now. It's all eye tracking, head tracking stuff. You'll have to put up with me for that, lads. But as I said, like anyone looking at DCS saying, yes, it looks great, I'd love to get involved with it. It's just I can't deal with it. Fair to say, maybe 10 minutes we had the controls set up, and within maybe another 15 minutes we were flying. So once you kind of What's interesting about DCS is you got to tailor your controls to each module. So what you have working in the C-130, for example, well, it's not much use to you when it comes to the F-18, for example, because there's custom buttons for each one, right? Now, the DCS community, it's huge. It's massive. And I'm sure there's a lot of folks in the DCS community who's really looking forward to this aircraft because they're so used to the combat missions. They're so used to, you know, be it, you know, light strike or heavy strike, air to air, air to ground, you name it. This is different. This opens the door to, you know, a different kind of flying altogether. But they can get into resupply. They can get into, you know, tactical airdrops. This really does open the door to a lot of DC pilots now to give them something fresh to experience.
Yeah, I mean, this plane does it all. If you want to fly A to B hauling trash between air bases, you can, like airliner style. If you want to get down in the valleys and, you know, dodge missiles and man pads to do an airdrop over like a forward operating base, you also can. And it does both missions extremely well.
Right, so what I'm going to attempt to do, John, I'm going to try and take off, right, and fly around for a little bit and press a button because I want to show something and wish me luck, you know.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll go loud on the sounds to see what happens. So it's also important to note nose wheel steering will be active till about we hit 30 knots. Then there's sufficient wind over the rudder. We can just use our normal rudder pedals then. Right. Power coming in. All right, takeoff power set. Come on, Betsy. There's a rudder taking over. All right, 60 knots. Don't mind me, it's totally fine. Everything's grand. 110, 120, yepsy daisy.
Yeah, you can rotate. At this weight, your rotation is probably around 105.
105, yeah?
Gets off the ground. Yeah, it gets off the ground really quickly.
Did I ever tell you I crashed an MD-11 on takeoff? Right.
I did too when it first came out.
Murphy's the man that can crash on takeoff. We'll go for a flyby here as well. Gear up, flaps are in. Oh, heck yeah. That's really good, isn't it? It's gorgeous. Okay, so in terms of generally flying it, I mean, everything else is what you'd expect. It comes fitted with an autopilot. We can follow, you know, a full flight plan via the FMS. Trims do exactly what trims are expected to do. Interesting with the C-130, I mean, there's no air brake, there's no speed brakes, right?
Yeah, there's not. What you can do is pretty much you have like 4 mini speed brakes built into the airplane, which are the propellers. So when you go to flight idle, the blades will actually increase their pitch a little bit to maintain their speed, and that'll create a lot of drag as well. So you don't really need them on this airplane.
Yeah.
Except in very specific situations.
And what was that factoid you told me? Was it to do with deceleration, or was it to do with landing and stopping? Like it was within like seconds or a second of the real world machine.
Oh yeah, the deceleration tests. We had a real C-130J pilot fly one of their maneuvers in the real world that they use for coming into land. It pretty much just, I forget exactly what it's called, but it pretty much is more of a tactical approach to an airport. And he tried it in our airplane, and there's a little bit of a delta that he initially found, but we were able to get it down to around 1 to 2 seconds from what he saw in the real world to what this airplane was exhibiting.
That's incredible, isn't it? Like, it hand flies so very well, and you know, there's always advantages. Like when you're used to something like Microsoft Flight Sim, and you jump into DCS, a couple of things like slap you in the face. It's like, holy crap! Look how smooth it is. Look how like it genuinely feels like it's cutting through air during how it handles. And yeah, look at, I mean, it's not a comparison. These are two very, very different platforms. But in terms of having a great experience, this machine, like, looks, sounds, flies, depth of systems, and we haven't really scratched the surface of this thing. I mean, this is before we get into any of the sort of, you know, tactical operations it's capable of. You know, the night lighting is insanely good, night vision, the whole lot. It's pretty cool. Oh, come here, look, I learned how to do one of these. Will I show you? Right.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, nice. You found the countermeasure dispense switch.
I found a button, and I wouldn't mind, but I deployed them on the shagging ground first. I was like, "What the hell is that sound?" You know. But yeah, so much fun. Like, such a cool machine. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's really is a jack of all trades. I mean, it's like as you touched on, there is, you know, we've touched on maybe 0.1% of what this airplane is capable of. And speaking of the flight model, yeah, there was a real C-130H pilot who developed this and who's on our team, and he's just done a really phenomenal job of just making the airplane feel like you were saying as if it's flying through an air mass, and that, you know, every control input is really, you know, going through the kind of like the interactions on the air that a real airplane's control surface does. I mean, it's nimble, but it's also heavy, which is quite interesting on just how this airplane flies.
like, you definitely get a sense of scale with this thing, but it's also very forgiving. Okay, you'll have the cast screaming at you, you know, angle of attack and whatnot. But I mean, if you need to get out of trouble, be it a deployment of countermeasures and, you know, go full hog, you can do that. I mean, you can really put this aircraft into some very tight spots, right?
Yeah, you can. I mean, something that we've had a lot of fun with in testing this is putting just a monstrous surface-to-air missile site, you know, kind of somewhere on the map, and then have to, you know, fly in super low level through valleys to do an airdrop over a site that's within the engagement zone of that SAM, and it's surprisingly survivable. I mean, you might think that this thing is just a trash hauler and it's going to get, you know, knocked out of the sky at the slightest hint of a hostile engagement, but it really can hold its own.
It's absolutely nuts. John, tell us a bit about the team. I mean, is there many on the team working on this? Are we talking many people, a few people?
So we're a pretty small team. Each of us kind of has our own little niches. It's me and about 5 other people. There's a guy who does the sounds. There's a guy who does the flight model. There's the owner of the company writes most of the code. And then we have a couple people in the administrative or 3D art and administrative side.
So it's yeah, I mean, there's quite a few people there, and I mean, where do you see? I suppose how could we ask the question, like, where would you see the most usage when it comes to this aircraft? I mean, do you see folks using this primarily as you know, dropping ordnance or dropping supplies? You know, do you see them mimicking you know, medical trips? Like, where do you think the most fun could be had with this? As you say, yeah, when there's people shooting at you, that's what the fun is, right? But
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, where would you see a lot of fun with this?
I think it just depends on the user primarily. I mean, you know, if you're more into the whole taking in the scenery and, you know, moving cargo and supporting, or feel like you're supporting the logistics of a larger war, then, you know, A to B is where you're at. And if you're more of an adrenaline junkie and you want to get down low and, you know, have a real sense of accomplishment after landing the plane back without or as minimal bullet holes as possible, then that's also going to be, you know, use case. And I think, I mean, obviously a lot of people are going to be, one of the first times they take it up are going to put the Moab in the back and, you know, see how big the explosion is. So I think that'll be it. You'll see this airplane being used offensively, probably in a lot of scenarios you might not expect it to be.
Awesome. So yeah, look at it. As I say, like, from when I first heard about the development of this aircraft, you know, it's we've got a good few folks in our community who are avid DCS users, and they're like, "Come on, will you just go on?" And I'd be like, "No," and then I said, "Oh, hang on, this." And every time I see a new module for DCS, I'm like, "Oh, it looks so good." But this, I was really drawn to the C-130 because you have that familiarity when it comes to the you know, civilian type flying, as you say, cargo hauling A to B, and it's a nice way to introduce folks to the world of DCS without having to worry about, you know. There's a whole world of knowledge to learn with DCS. Like, you know, we say it all the time. People say study level, but like there is so much information to consume with DCS. Anything from the weapons to the, you know, strategy, you know, resupply, you name it. There's so much to learn here. But I think the C-130J is a great induction point because you can get on with the familiarity of flying whilst learning everything else, and without the worry of, you know, I was airborne for 6 seconds and Captain Gaiman shot me down with a friggin', you know what I mean, sidewinder. Like, that's what this opens the door to, and I think it's pretty cool. I really do. Like, it's the modules are what make the Sims what they are. As in third-party developers develop the add-ons or the modules, and that's what keeps people on the platforms. So it's giving them stuff to do. And certainly with the C-130 on a short final, I mean, you've so many different options to operate this aircraft in, as you say, as easygoing as you like, or as, you know, thrill-seeking adrenaline junkie as you like. It gives you the options, you know. So for that alone, it's top drawer stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really has been a blast to develop this, and it really has just been, you know, something new every couple months. I mean, as we went system to system, it was just completely different. You know, we were building the route system, and then we took a turn, and then we built the defensive systems, and then we went from that to, you know, the CAPS, which is, you know, a fully automated formation flying system, and it's just the depth of this airplane, I think, is really going to be what keeps people coming back. Is you know, the ease of getting into it is certainly going to draw people in, but it's also just, it's so interesting and it's incredibly fun. I mean, just when you think you've, you know, mastered one system, there's, you know, another CNI page that you discover and just sucks you in. And it really, I mean, for the thousands of hours that I've flown it, I mean, there's still times where, you know, I'll go, like, I didn't realize it did this. That's awesome. And like, I'm the one writing the user manual for it, and I can't tell you how many times I've been, you know, going through our airplane and, you know, writing about what it does, and like, there's no way that's correct. That's just stupid.
Right.
I'll cross-reference it with our documentation. That's exactly how the real airplane is, and
that's crazy.
It's just, I adore this airplane, and I think everyone else on our team does as well. And I hope people will kind of see the amount of work that's gone into it, and it's not just been a let's get this out the door so we can move on to the next one. This has really been a passion project for everyone involved.
No, it is, and you can see it. And like, you know, hopefully I don't explode here, but like, you know, if a muppet like me can kind of pick it up. Oh Jesus, easing out.
You're a little fast, but it should be fine.
Grand. I did some of my best work like this. Right now, Beta. This thing will like stop in no length at all. I mean, we talk about, you know, stall capable aircraft all the time. This thing takes the biscuit. I mean, this thing will stop in no length, fully loaded as well.
It will, yeah. You have those, you know, 5,000 horsepower engines with insanely efficient propellers and just some ridiculous brakes. I mean, you can run the you know, the landing performance within the CNI for this, and even at heavy weights. I mean, if you're doing a maximum effort landing, it'll stop in 2,000 feet, which is just crazy for an airplane this size.
It's absolutely incredible. But John, listen, it's been such a pleasure to show this off. I've been excited since you gave me access to it, to say, Murph, listen, this is something that would probably interest your community. I think it does. Definitely, you know, for the DCS veterans who are here, you're like, what's this guy all about? Like, we're in the civil world, man. We're over with Microsoft Flight Sim. But I think this is definitely a great module to kind of just scratch that itch that folks might have to say, should I try DCS? Because it's a way, it's like the easy version of trying to get into it without having to worry about getting like blown out of the sky every 11 seconds when you start it off. But also then learn an aircraft of this sort of depth as well. This is quite a unique C-130 to have, because there's modelling here that it just isn't on, or there's sims, like I haven't seen it. And there are other C-130s, don't get me wrong, but in terms of the J, and it's funny, like I remember John, you were saying before, like, you know, people would love to see the older variants, but like then you realise, well, that could take them literally an hour to get into the sky because of everything is so manual. You look at the J, it's 10 minutes. It's all automated. So there's huge advantages, obviously, for using the new ones, you know?
Yeah, and you know the best part about all of this is DCS is free. I mean, there's a very small barrier to entry to get into this airplane, and you really have nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome stuff. Well, listen, John, best of luck with the release. Thank you so very much indeed for letting me showcase this off. We'll be following development as it continues, and it is fair to say it's on a short final. Folks can expect to see this hopefully soon and get to experience it. It's been a barrel load of fun, daunting and terrifying, but a barrel load of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I mean, this is great, and hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Absolutely. Right, John, listen, thank you so very much indeed for joining us. And yeah, man, best of luck with it.
Yeah, thanks. Take care.
Sweet. All right. Now, lads, just a massive shout out from John from the Airplane Simulation Company. They're currently developing this aircraft for DCS. Apologies for the DCS, but I'm a noob when it comes to DCS, lads. I'm going to be as painful and everything as you could possibly imagine. But for your sim, for your hobby, your platform that you enjoy the most, if that is DCS, I stand by what I'm saying. This is an awesome airplane to invite folks in to give it a try and learn the depth of what DCS can offer, because it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. So a massive thanks to John. A massive thanks for you guys for coming over. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it answers some questions with the upcoming release of the C-130J, and I can tell you it's a lot of fun. It looks great. It sounds great. I can't launch me flares now, so they fixed that. Right? Great. Do you know? So yeah, that's the story now. We're going to be back to you tomorrow. We're live tomorrow at 10:00 Zulu in the world of X-Plane. We're going to be flying in the brand new Just Flight Archer as we do some on-air flying. And then tomorrow night, back in the world of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, we are flying from Toronto into JFK, because clearly we like stress and worry and anxiety, and that is what we're going to do. So lots more flight sim coming at you tomorrow. So guys, thank you very, very much indeed. For all the new folks here, you're most very welcome. We do have a Discord if you'd like to continue the conversation a little bit further. Discord. That's where we hang about when we're not on a live stream. Also, my thanks to GotFriends, the incredible Aeroprakt A32, now released from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Beautiful little ultra sport light aircraft. And we also checked out Svalbard over from iniBuilds as well. And before all of that, we were checking out Black Square's latest upcoming releases of the Beach Baron and the Bonanza Professional. So it's been a day, but it's been a lot of fun. So I shall catch you all tomorrow, 10:00 Zulu time. So until then, you take care. Dublin. Pascal Sheehy, RTE. Is Pascal Sheehy still doing the news? Oh, there's Gibbo, look! He almost turned it over. Gibbo, you nearly rolled it.
Yeah, baby.
Did you just say that? He nearly rolled the trailer coming in. Hilarious.
Cheers, Gibbo.
Yeah, we can hear you. Engines are now off. I've just killed the mixture. right? Watch this. Mags are off. Feather boat props. My engines are now completely off, right? And I'll know they're completely off because I'm going to keep an eye on the props. They will just stop, right? Engine 1 stopped. Engine 2 stopped. That's the sound I should hear. This is the sound I do hear. What? What are you doing? Do you know what I mean? We need to clip this. Hey, Coronado, Microsoft and Asobo. 3 lads walk into a bar. This is how the sound should be. I've turned off my engines. However, if there's other aircraft of the same description flying from the Coronado fleet, this is what we hear.